Oh,
no football results.
I did that last time, didn't I? Did I forgot the mic? Yeah. Is it working now? Hello, McFly. 2 coats of wax. And we working. We got sound. Awesome.
You don't want results.
No one wants results. Okay. Got you. Thank you, Callum, for your super sticker. Saying, I love PC builds. They are my favourite streams. And there was a super chat from Ugly Bob, I think, as well earlier. So, yeah. Is everything working? Am I in sync? That is the important bit. I just realised I still got my hoodie on, actually. It's bloody cold. Yes, audio. Good. At least it's in sync, Bob says as well. That was good. I can't believe I did it again. I'm using my wireless lav mic, and I'm so used to just having a mic plugged in and it's working. I remember to turn on the receiver, which is plugged into the camera. Just, yeah. I'm 50% there. Ah, dear. Now, obviously, tonight, Saturday, the 10th of December, 2022, there is a football match going on at the moment, which is between England and France currently for the World Cups to play. I think it's no, I'm not going to say who they're playing. To play somebody in the semis. So.
You said semi.
I did say semi, you're right. Actually, before we go any further, there's something I must stress. YouTube have, in their wisdom, changed the goalposts once again on what can and cannot be said on YouTube to enable monetization of the platform. Basically, I can't say any bad words anymore. So you may hear me saying things like, oh, bother, or bucket, or yeah, something relatively similar. And I'll hope that the YouTube algorithm doesn't pick up the fact that I'm trying to abbreviate cuss words, which they shouldn't do, but anyway. So yeah, if I say a bad word, basically I lose income from the video. And this is now retroactive as well, so any previous videos which I've used bad words in, those are either demonetized or not suitable for adverts, which is basically the same thing. Hey ho, still. There we go. Yes, Bob, I agree wholeheartedly with your statement. YouTube is one of those things for donkeys and doing things with the garden. Yes. There you go. So, unfortunately, there's many things I cannot say. Although probably if I do something wrong accidentally, the occasional cuss word may pop out. If it does, I do apologise. Potentially this is an 18 plus rated stream, so if you're under 18, well, it is what it is. I'm sure you've seen worse. Anyway, moving on from that, nice to see loads of you actually in the chat tonight, even though there is a very, very popular football match on tonight. So we'll see how things going. I was very much considering actually doing the stream a little bit earlier to try and avoid it, but I struggled to get it ready for 8 o'clock, to be honest with you, even though I've got pretty much all day to do it. Although today I did have to do some video editing of a graphics card which has arrived from the people over at AliExpress, and basically, yeah, it's not gone well. It's not gone well at all. I've spent the whole week basically fighting with AliExpress and Mills, or MLSE International, over a damaged graphics card which came from China. China are also donkey garden implements.
It's going to get hard.
This is going to get... I have a hard enough job. See? I have a hard enough job trying to put words in front of each other, let alone trying to interpret other words which could be usable. There's 10 euros from Stuart Cleary. Thank you very much, Stuart. And says, swearing is the sign of intelligence. Well, it may well be, but unfortunately...
I must be so intelligent.
Yeah, Kath is very intelligent when she's doing the washing up, feeding the cats, emptying the cat litter,
I don't mind.
putting the washing out. That's probably about it, to be fair. Oh dear. So, how's the weather for you guys and girls been out there in wherever, well, all around the world? At the moment here in the UK, it's a particularly cold snap, at least what we're used to, because obviously we live on a tiny little island where the climate is very changeable, and at the moment it's somewhere in the region of about 0 degrees pretty much across the country. If you're in the top half, northern side in Scotland, then you're going to be feeling it a little bit more because it does tend to chill off a little bit up there. And if you're down south, St Ives, Cornwall, Devon, etc., then you're probably finding it's a little bit milder, but not a great deal. You're still going to be in around those kind of freezing figures. And we did have a few little flakes of snow last night, apparently. I didn't actually see them, but apparently they were there. It was very cold, -3 last night, overnight, which was not good. I think it was -4 at some point today, and it warmed up to -1 or 1 degree. It's, yeah, it's not great. We've got the wood burner going, so currently in the Mub studio it is 23.7 degrees Celsius with a humidity of 48%, so it could be a lot worse, it really could. Although if I go out of the room, it's about 17 degrees. So it is quite a cold snap as you walk out the room. But we still haven't put the heating on. The central heating is still not been turned on. We are not giving the energy companies the money. I can't say what I was going to say, but energy companies, you can basically do one. You ain't getting pennies out of us unless it involves me turning on the RGB for super chats and possibly the studio light. Oh, and the computers and the monitor and the camera. But other than that, that's it. That's all you're getting. And you'll be lucky at that. Anyway, so yes, I'm on relatively good form, I think, tonight. So in theory, things should go relatively well. If you haven't guessed already from the title of the stream and potentially the thumbnail, which more than likely you've clicked on to actually get here, we're doing a live build tonight. So we are going to be putting together a PC. There's a few bits and pieces which we've listed in the comments section and the video description. So if you want to check out the parts in advance, more than welcome to do so. This is kind of what I would consider a mid-range, actually sort of mid to high in some regards, depending obviously what your financial constraints are. But I think it's going to be a nice little PC. Going to give it a go, see what it's like. We're going to do a build in either one of the two. It's either going to be the Aerocool Splinter Duo, which was kindly supplied to us by Ugly Bob, or potentially the Aerocool Aero 1, which is the slightly whiter version. Same kind of case really, a little bit more airflow on the front. So basically it's going to be kind of down to you guys. So I want your input now in the chat. Let me know in the comment section which case you prefer us to go with. Either just say Splinter or Aero. Aero is going to be the white case with the 3 fans up front and the cheese grater grill. Actually be interesting to get that case out to see if it does actually still smell of cheese. So that's something to look forward to. Ugly Bob's coming with another super chat, £2 there and 17 pence extra for the energy it takes. Bless you, sir. Don't forget the 30 to 40% that YouTube take and the other 30% that the taxman takes. But other than that, we're good. No doubt, I'm sure I can find something in my tax return to offset that against. It does happen. There are ways of making money, allegedly. I have to say allegedly. So, let's see, what are people saying so far? I should have done a poll, actually. I don't think I can do a poll now, can I? Can I do a poll? No, I can't do a poll. Can you do a poll, Kath?
What, on your computer?
Oh, actually, I'm in live chat. Is that still working? Yeah, that's working. Hi, Kieran.
I don't know how you do it in the first place.
Splinter, Aero. James Brock's with us. How you doing, Jimbo?
Start a poll.
Yeah, Kath's going to do it. Start a poll. So, the two, which case, Aero or Splinter? So, ignore what I've said about putting in the chat, even though it's good for the algorithm. We'll do a quick little poll and see what the deal is. The first case to get...
Splinter.
Aero or Splinter, yeah. The first case to get, let's say 20 votes, gets it. Although I don't think it says votes, I think it says percentages, but anyway, there is a poll, and I can see it at the top of my screen. Currently there's 0 votes, so that's probably not great. Aero's at 0%. Aero's at 77%. I'm keeping an eye on it, so place your votes, please, if you're on a device which allows you to do that. That would be awesome. Ugly Bob says the last time Kath did a poll, we were throwing fivers at her. We've still got the poll actually in the bedroom, believe it or not.
Poppy was using it this morning.
Poppy was genuinely jumping up and down on the poll this morning. Is that your Discord going?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. Is it anything important? Is there something on fire?
No, it's Lunar Foods and Arrow.
Oh, Loner's, hey, good one. That's a good idea. Yeah, if you're not too sure and you, for some reason, you can't get on YouTube and comment, just ping the hell out of Kath's Discord.
No.
Okay, right. Let's see. Right, the votes are coming in. Excellent stuff. So that is working. Awesome stuff. Let's go through the other parts that we're going to be using in the build,
Show
which...
both cases, they can't remember what the Splinter looks like.
Show both cases? Who said that?
David Thompson.
Ban them immediately.
I'm not sure if Splinter's actually even
The
got out yet.
The Splinter was the one we did the unboxing of last week in the stream. So that is basically a black case. There's a RGB LED down the front, mesh to each side of that. And it's got 2 fans in the roof, 1 in the back. The Aerocool Aero 1 was the case we looked at the week before. And that was basically the same chassis, but it's got the cheese grater front and 3 120mm intake fans to intake air and make a breeze.
Volume seems a little low.
A volume seems a little low. Let's see if I can remedy that.
Did I show Poppy?
You better put it in front. I don't know if it'll even pick up. Dutch Jan says open bench. Is that even going to focus on there? Yep, it's focused. There we go. There is Poppy actually on the pole in our bedroom, trying to climb up the damn thing. That works quite well.
That was this morning.
Pole dancing Poppy. Yeah, she's got to earn her keep somehow. Should we get the cases? Oh, I might have to get you to open the cases, Kath. The boxes, and pull the cases out. Do you reckon you could do that?
Where is it?
One there, and the other one is... Actually, I don't even know where the other one is. Where is the other case?
What? The one that Poppy's on?
Which one's that? Yes, that's a Splinter. I don't even know where the other case is, actually. I'm going to go and get it. Is the microphone still working? Be good if it was. Ah, there we go. That's what I forgot to bring in. Got that going from my head now. Ah, there. Right. Move my phone, move my snot rag. Sharp, I don't want the Sharpie anymore, you can have that back. Thank you and all that. I'm actually still waiting, I'm hoping. I've set up my OBSBot 4K cam up on the top there, and it's been waiting to do an update, which, that is why I'm a bit late. Music content match. Is that working? Let's have a look. Is it? Oh, and it's that one, isn't it? Yeah, that might work. Bear me a second. I've been trying to get this to work all day long. So if I go into OBSBot.
Make sure it's not near me.
Whey! Cool, that looks a bit bright, doesn't it?
The Aero.
Who made the Aero? Both of them are made by the same company. They're both done by Aerocool. I'm looking at the wrong camera, aren't I? So this now should follow me around. Bit dark there. You can see how small this place is actually now, can't you? I'm not going around that way because Kath's over there and she'll get very, very cross and she'll be upset. But this means I can show you things a little bit easier. So hopefully, if I do things like that, you should be able to see things. There we go. That's awesome. And if you can still hear me, that's even better. Bill said that's better. Not sure. Mike's singing. Next he will be saying yippee-ki-yay mother truckers. Skystalker says, whoa, I haven't seen that angle of Mike's house before. No, this is basically the Mubster TARDIS. So this is, come on, stupid camera, you following me? Yes. Is it following or not? It's supposed to follow my face.
No, it's not. You did put your hand up to it, didn't you?
If I do that, there we go. That's better. So now you can see this is literally the wall. Obviously. If I go over here, there's my noble chair. There's such a delay on there, it's ridiculous. So there is my my chair. There's the wood burner, which is actually currently going out. Which I don't think there's anything over there that shouldn't be seen. Anyway, yeah, this is the other side of the room. And that is the wider part. It's wider than it is long. So this is a tiny little room. See the wood burner. Wood burner is pretty cool. This guy says, oh, I want that camera. It was actually sent to me for a review ages ago by Obspot. They said, can you do a review on it? So I did the review, and part of their thing, they said, right, if you do a review, can you also do a live stream with it as well? And I've never got around to doing it, but they've recently updated their software. So I thought, oh, actually, I'll update the software and try it. Now you can actually see what the camera see what the camera sees in the software, which you couldn't previously, which was a little bit weird. So anyway, there you go. So you've seen it now. I was going to map that to a button, but I haven't, have I? So
Underhill, my bathroom is bigger than that room. They don't want to see our bathroom.
You don't. Yeah, our bathroom is ridiculously tiny. It's
Try
like
the size of that table, maybe. Well,
it probably this
that's the
table.
floor space.
This table actually probably is square. This table probably would not fit in our bathroom.
One table.
Might actually it might just about, because we've got the bath, then you got the sink, and the toilet underneath the sink almost. Yeah, our bathroom basically, you've got the bath, the sink, kind of half of the sink goes over the side of the bath, and then you've got the toilet, and half of the toilet is underneath the sink. It's tiny. 1930s.
It's not really under the sink.
It's not far off. Yeah.
It, but it's very close.
1930s houses, they didn't put any priorities on the bog house.
But
Nothing.
I would rather have
nothing going on there.
bedrooms than bog house. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Skysource says, do not poop in Mike's kitchen. No, definitely don't. Don't poop in my kitchen. Don't poop anywhere. Right, let me have a drink.
Ugly Bob's ready done in the corner.
Right, how's the votes going? Can I click on the votes yet? I'm not very good with technology. There we go. So the Aero is currently in head than the Splinter. For this particular build, I am erring towards the Aero, personally. I'm thinking the Splinter is going to be better for the build I'm going to be doing either next week or the week after, which is going to be a little bit more modest, a little bit more of a budget-orientated system. So let's take a look at the case. I'll show you just so you can see what it is.
Do you need the other one out still?
No, it might be all right actually. Thank you. Oh, just the bed. I nearly said it.
You've got me on there then.
No, I'm on the other camera now. Although, actually, I should put it on the other camera, shouldn't I?
No, can't be me.
Kath says, no, no, no.
Don't want to be on there.
Where are we? Webcam. Obspot. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to map that to one of the keys. So let's map that to... Where's OBS? OBS Studio Scene. There we go. Check that on a scene. Do you want to replace this action? Yes, I do. And let's have it with scene obsbot. I'm going to call it obs bot.
That's going to confuse you because you think it's OBS.
Why doesn't it do that? It does that every single time. Let's see if that works. Obsbot. There we go. Awesome, you can see me now. So this is the Aerocool Aero 1. It's funny actually, just standing up here, it just gets a lot warmer. Whew. So how's this for a slightly more unusual view of what goes on here? Does it add any value to the production? There's a bit of movement to it, I guess, which is kind of a nice thing. And you can see the light in the background, which I haven't turned on because it gets a little bright. There's such
Well,
a...
I don't like that. So if I was
I'm not going around this way.
Yeah, but if I was at my desk, you would see it. Yeah, that's me.
It.
Good see it.
Where are we? Main. There we go. So that is...
Bob says, the Skystalker says, anyone want to take bets if Mike is going to demonetize this stream? I say yeah. And Ugly Bob said, I'm going to stick my neck out here. He's going to swear like he's just stamped on Lego with no shoes on. Or, what were those things called?
Duplo?
No, what George had.
Oh, Go-Go's.
Go-Go's, yeah. You went mental then, didn't you?
Skystalker says, we promise not to look at you, Kath.
I don't want to be on it.
Kath don't want to be on it.
It's cold here.
She hasn't done her
You better put some
hair.
wood on the fire because I can't.
Oh yeah, hang on, let's go put some wood on the fire.
I can't get down.
That isn't code. Just poking the fire.
I can't see you.
I know. It's a visual aid. Oh shit, that's hot. Oh damn it. That was hot though. To be fair. Oh, I've blown it now. Oh hit. That was warm.
It's like George as a kid.
Oh God, it's warm there. Very. Actually, am I allowed to say God? I have to say dog instead. Anyway. Ugly Bob says, I can't believe Mike is dissing Kath for not doing her hair. I would do my hair, given the chance.
He used to spend hours, it get on my nerves to be fair. Every hair in place.
Right, there we go. Bill says, hardwood is the best, Mike. It certainly is. Scott says, I like the Aero 1, but I like the Splinter as well. I take it it's the same chassis. They are both exactly the same chassis. The difference being is this has got 3 fans up front. I think actually, what's happening? Yeah, the Aero has appeared to... Yeah, the Aero's kind of out in front now with 62% of the vote. Splinter with 38. I think because of the graphics card we're using, I think we're going to have to go with this anyway. I think it makes more sense because we've got that positive airflow pressure coming on the inside, which is going to cool down our graphics card, which I haven't even introduced yet. So I need to get my buttocks in gear. Need to get my donkey in gear. So RAM-wise, we are going to be using a slightly chewed up pack of Viper Gaming Steel RAM. I think it's steel, isn't it? Yeah, Viper Steel.
Poppy thinks she's a dog.
Poppy thinks she's also a dog or something and was eating... She's eaten more of the box since we've been gone out, I swear. Because that wasn't on it before. So she has eaten more. That cat's crazy. Anyway, 16 gigs, 2 times 8 gigs. Cooler-wise, this actually potentially is another point of contention where we may actually go down a slightly different path. Now we're using the Ryzen 5 3600. So either of these coolers is absolutely fine. So I was kind of erring towards the Kolink, the Umbra EX180, but also the Freezer A35 does look very nice as well and does perform very well and is slightly more compact. So I'm not entirely sure. Yes, Kath? Or you just warming your hand?
Splinter available in white also.
The Splinter I don't think is. I'll have a look on the box. That's the easiest way of telling because it'll say on the box, although Poppy's probably eaten it. doesn't say on that end. Tempered glass, colour. Yes, the Splinter does appear to be available in white. There is a tick box on the side of the box saying which colour it is.
And what is the budget of this build?
The budget, actually, I haven't worked out at all. I am kind of all over the place with it, to be completely honest with you. Because of some of the parts that are used, some of them are new, it's debatable. Again, the case-wise, you could argue, if you put aside £40 for the case, the RAM...
Add it up.
Yeah, you could do, yeah. So the RAM is 4650 currently from eBuyer here in the UK. So that's 8650. If you say for the coolers, either one, 30 quid. I think that's slightly over egging it, but it's in that ballpark. The power supply, I actually have no idea how much I paid for this. I'm sure I got it for a very good price, but if you say £40 for the power supply, I think we're probably erring on the side of caution there for £40. I think it cost 25 maybe. Motherboard wise is a used board, so this is one which I actually swapped for a vacuum, believe it or not, from Kieran. So this is the MSI. This is such a cool board. I love this board. The MSI B450 Pro Carbon Wi-Fi Max. Or sorry, B450 Gaming Pro Carbon Max Wi-Fi, to give it its exact name. But yeah, this is a very, very groovy board. I like this board a lot. It's a shame that I can't afford the B550 version, because that is also a very, very awesome board. Which weirdly, the X570 version of this wasn't particularly good, which was somewhat of an oddity, but hey, MSI can't do it right all the time. Motherboard wise, these were selling at one point on ebuyer.com for £79.99. I'm guessing if you tried to buy one of these now, if you could get one new, you'd probably be paying in excess of £100, maybe 110, I don't know. They're very, very hard to come by on the new market, because they were basically they sold out very quickly, the original run they did, and then when they did the second run, because B550 was out, they didn't sell very well, and they dropped in price massively, down to, like I said, £80 brand new, which £80 for a motherboard back then actually didn't seem amazingly cheap, but in today's modern market, £80 for a motherboard is pretty phantasmagorical.
So we're adding it in as 80.
Put it in as, yeah, put it in as 80. We've also got a 1TB M.2 drive, so that is silicon power. This is their A80, which is PCI Express Gen 3 x4, nice fast drive. I think it's about 3.5 gig per second read writes. But yeah, nice drive. In general, drives of this kind of standard, somewhere in the region of about £60, maybe £70 in the UK. So say 70 to err on the side of caution.
And what Ryzen are you using?
Ryzen 5 3600, so you pick those up used now for somewhere between 80 and 100. So again, we'll err on the side of caution a little bit there and say 100, because you can get them for that very, very easily. And now I've got to find a graphics card, which is here somewhere, definitely. But where is that graphics card? Any ideas, Cap? Ah, there it is. I know I put it somewhere safe for the stream. This is the RTX 2070. Yeah, RTX 2070 Founders Edition.
You're not wearing James's hoodie, are you?
No.
Because it is embroidered, isn't it?
It might be, yeah. This is just a printed on one. So there we go. There is the RTX 2070 Founders Edition. This is actually a beautiful looking card. And these are starting to get cheaper and cheaper. You can pick these up. Well, I actually bought this one off Dave Aitken, who's one of our regulars, Discord and YouTube, and I think I paid $225, which now, a month or so later, still is good. You can get very good. Alternatively, you could, weirdly now, you could basically swap this out for an RX 6600, which probably is a little bit quicker, and that is brand new as well. So it just goes to show how quickly the GPU market is moving. But in terms of a card which was built like an absolute tank and looks as nice as it does, it's very hard to beat this, in my opinion. And yeah, I think this is going to look very, very cool. It's also quite a compact card as well, which is something we do need to take into consideration, because the case, either one, is quite squat. So a triple fan card would be a definite no-no. It's a real shame actually that I haven't got a vertical mounting option on this, because I think that would look very cool mounted vertically. But then saying that, I think it looks really good that way as well. But anyway, so 225 for that. So what does that give us a total of? £630. So £630 for arguably a pretty decent, powerful PC for gaming. Clearly, some prices you won't be able to match entirely, and if you want to do it cheaper, you could do easily. You could quite easily ditch a cooler, use the stock cooler, and that way you'll be at £600 with the RTX 2070. That is pretty awesome. Oh my God, Rick H has come in with a massive super chat of $50. Oh, and it's for Kath as well. She can go and get her hair done now. This is for Lady Gaff and for all the hard work she does for the channel behind the camera. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
See, she actually said words then that were probably audible. I'm still trying to get her to actually wear a microphone so that when she asks questions, you can hear her voice as clearly as you can hear mine. That is very, very generous of you. Thank you very much, Rick. Put me off my stride a bit over there. Yes, so I think that is all the parts, I think. So yeah, roughly, if you say kind of £600, I think for £600, it's a really powerful little PC. So you can have 6 cores, 12 threads. Actually, where the hell did I put the processor? That is something I may have omitted.
Silo 69.
So, oh yeah, there we go. There's a processor. So Ryzen 5 3600.
Silo 69. Who are you building the PC for?
Who am I building the PC for? Well, I'm not really building it for anybody in particular. I'm building it primarily, well, there's 3 reasons. One, it's a kind of cool thing that I've been wanting to do, and a live stream is a much better format for doing this for me personally than doing it in a video. But I also will do a kind of a little bit of a roundup video once it's all done and configured, etc. So I'll say, like, you could build this PC for £600, blah, blah, blah. So we'll do a little video on that, do some benchmarks and some examples of gameplay and what have you. I'm not too sure. Kath's PC does need upgrading at some point, so potentially it might go to Kath. Other than that, coming up to Christmas, I know exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be people coming to me a couple of days before Christmas saying, I haven't got a PC, my son or my daughter wanted one for Christmas. Have you got anything, Mike? Can you help? So having something like this ready, kind of ready and waiting to go, potentially could be a bit of a lifesaver for someone for Christmas. And also, then I can put the money back into the channel. I've already kind of spent the money that I could possibly be making on this in some parts to do more reviews on. So it's all part of the kind of the constantly turning wheel of getting stuff in, looking for bargains, then trying to get them sent back out. It might end up on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know. If it's a really nice, cool little PC, potentially I might end up keeping it and doing away with Cav's PC, which is a little bit long in the tooth now. But anyway, one way or another, it will go. Yeah, close your eyes, Cav. I'm building your Christmas present. Oh dear. Anyway, so let's have a quick look at the.
Like some copper gardening tools.
Let's do end poll. Oh, I did end poll, but it hasn't told me what the end result was.
It's Aero 62, Splinter 37.
Right, so it was airing more towards the which one? The Aero. The Aero one. Okay, that is kind of what I was hoping for. I've actually taken a little bit of skin off my finger. That hurts. Kath really wants Windows 11. She definitely does. She's gagging for Windows 11, really is. Skystalker says if it's a live stream, he does a build, he gets paid to do it. Effectively, that is it, yeah. So it's good for content for this kind of thing, just a chilled out build. Also, then I can do another follow-up video saying things that I would change or things that I do differently to advise people further if their own builds. And yeah, it's just there's lots of little things that can be done with it. So it's a nice little build to put together. And also, I haven't built in this case yet, which I'm kind of itching to do. So I'm going to go straight ahead and we're going to get on with it. We're still not entirely convinced on the cooler, so maybe, Kath, could you do another poll for the cooler? Awesome. Building a PC is good fun. Unless you have to flash the BIOS. For the coolers, Arctic A35 versus... Sorry, I'm going too fast. Let's do the overhead if the overhead's on. Arctic A35 versus Kolink EX180. Yes, thank you. I'll take my shoes off. No, why do we wear shoes in our own homes? I've never understood that, really.
You keep putting them on.
I know. Anyway, so there is our motherboard, the extremely cool MSI. I have to read it off now to make sure I get it right. B450 Gaming Pro Carbon Max Wi-Fi. And actually, I'm going to turn on the other light as well. To hell with the expense. Hopefully that is going to cast a little bit more light.
PC is mine right now?
Kath's PC at the moment is a Ryzen 5 2600, which was kindly donated by Welly Bob. The graphics card is the Zotac GTX 1060 6GB, which was kindly donated by William Bodie. The case is a GameMax F15 mesh, which was kindly donated by me. The RAM is the V-Color Prism Pro 16GB RGBs. The motherboard is the B450 Pro 4 from ASRock. And what else? It's a 1TB drive. That is kind of it, really. Oh, power supply is a GameMax 750 watt something or other. Their Rampage.
And this from
Oh, and Bob's QI charging dock, which she loves. So here is our processor. It's the Ryzen 5 3600. I did have an option for this of actually going with the Ryzen 5 4500. But I'm feeling that one's going to be better suited to the slightly more lower end build, which I've got, which I'm going to be doing with the RX 580, which I got from AliExpress, which is causing me all kinds of grief. Bob says, so pleased you like it. I use mine when I'm in my office in Newcastle. The dock with the Qi charger is awesome. It really is.
What processor do you recommend for GTX 1070?
GTX 1070, what processor? Ryzen 5 2600, Ryzen 5 3600, Ryzen 5 5600. Any of those will be fine. Intel side of things, probably 10400, 11400, or maybe a 1210. Any of those would be good. Yeah, Ryzen 4500 also. The 1070 is a pretty good card, and it doesn't have a lot of processor overhead, so you can get away with something relatively minimal on that. Right, let's put our M.2 drive in. This, if Kieran's watching, if he's still in the chat, I did get this from Kieran, and he failed to send me the original M.2 cooling shield, but it isn't a problem because one of our other fantastic viewers sent us, I think it was Patrick LaBelle. Was it Patrick LaBelle? I'm trying to think who it was now. Oh my god, if I got it wrong, I'm apologising. I'm pretty sure it was Patrick. Is it Patrick? Anyway, So we've got this M2 LD01 M.2 cooler. Was it Patrick LaBelle? I haven't seen Patrick, so Patrick, if it wasn't you, I apologise. If it was somebody else who's watching who sent it, then I do apologise also. I'm sure it's Patrick LaBelle.
I think it was.
Because he sent some other things as well, which were the blanking plates, which you ordered by
Banner.
mistake. Oh, sorry, banner.
Thanks, Rod Bill.
Cheers, Bill. I like the banner though, because it says $50.
That stays.
Oh yeah, it stays at the top, doesn't it? That's right. So, anyway, am I on the right camera? Yeah. Sorry, I'm just checking. I'm losing my my mind a little bit here. Actually, that's not too bad an image either. So, I've not actually used this yet. Well, I have briefly lit it up to see what it's like, but I've not used it in anger. So we're going to see what this is actually like. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to put it in here or not, actually. I might... No, actually, I'm not going to... I don't think I'm going to use it in here. Or should I? I've got a J Rainbow slot down the bottom. So I could run that down there, connect it up. That potentially might simplify things. I've actually got two headers on the RGB hub in the case, which I can also plug that into. So, I'm not sure. James Brock, who, oh, don't tell me. Was it good? It says 2-1. Oh, I'm not going to say it. Those who want to see it can read it in the chat.
Silo.
What's that?
Silo 69.
Silo. Yeah, I was thinking of buying a Ryzen 5 3600. I'm looking for 60 FPS experience in 1080p, high settings, with the Duo R5. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you should. I actually did some gameplay yesterday with the slightly older RX 580, the SP2048 edition, which I got from AliExpress. And with this particular processor, this actual setup, I was playing Wreckfest and Far Cry New Dawn, and they were getting in excess of 60 frames per second easily at 1080p high settings. So if you're going for a 1070 smashes a 580 totally. So yeah, you should find it a pretty decent experience. Now let's have a look at what is going on in with the cooler. So the Kolink is at 32%, and the Arctic A35 is at 68%. So I think that pretty much narrows things down. I'll leave it running a little bit longer, so if anyone actually has any other ideas or wants to change the outcome, then now is a good... Look at this. Poppy ate that box. We literally went down the shops for 5 minutes to get some food and come back, and George says Poppy was eating the food, was eating the box. It's like, why? These are actually an interesting kit of RAM. So we've got this Viper, but it says steel, but that looks, to me, I don't know about how it looks to you on the camera if you can see with the light in, that looks very green. It's still green. If you actually get steel as in the real element steel, is it like a greeny colour? I suppose I'm thinking of stainless steel, which is generally, well, shiny silver. Is what?
Old coloured.
Yeah. Right, let's stick the RAM in. So do the end one first. A little bit of even pressure. Slam dunk the funk. And same again. Those look nice actually on the upright profile. Got those nice edged teeth there. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. Matches in quite nicely with the carbon heat sinks and all that kind of stuff. I was thinking about RGB RAM, but I think there's going to be so much RGB in here. I don't want it to be an RGB festival. which is almost kind of why I've not put that in at the moment. I might turn around and put it in at a later date, but for now I think this is absolutely fine. Let's have a quick scan through the chat.
Yeah, you should be grateful she only chewed the box.
I was just reading that, yeah, we should be grateful she only ate the box, yes.
Although, if you give her some meat in the wrapper, she'll eat the wrapper as well.
Bob saying, some of our rifles had steel barrels and the sights sometimes had green on them.
Yeah, he said up there that it's the iron content can be green. Yeah, like copper, I suppose.
James says, yep. I'm gonna have to quickly look at my phone actually. I want to see what the score was.
Well, you just put it, Anthony.
Well, I didn't quite understand it. Whether so okay. So is that ended? Ah. Okay. I think we probably all know what the score was going to be anyway, or at least had a pretty good idea. Moving on to slightly happier things. Let's get this cooler installed. So it looks like we're going to be going with the RTX A35 has crept ahead a little bit more actually. So the RTX A35 is currently at 70% and the Kolink EX180 is at 30%. So sorry Kolink, you get to spend the rest of the match on the bench.
Bamboo Belly?
Bamboo Belly. Hi Bamboo Belly. Is the 1070 8 gig better than the 1650 4 gig? Yeah. Yeah, it is. The 1650 has some slightly better features in terms of the technology actually in it. Possibly the NVENC encoder might be a little bit better, but in general, because it's only a 4 gig card, having the extra bit of RAM there is going to be somewhat useful. So yes, I would go with that personally. James Brock says, I guess no one was paying attention to me as normal. We were paying attention, but not wholly. I was concentrating on other things such as breathing and building a PC. Both of which are pretty important, at least to me. I'm not particularly bothered about the football, to be honest with you, because I lost interest in football a long time ago, really. So this dimension 158.5 mil. So we are going to be coming extremely close to the tolerances of the case, which has got 160 mil. So it's going to be basically touching the glass.
Oh, thanks, George.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. George gives bloody calf chocolates. I'm sat here slaving away over a hot desktop. I don't remember even how to build this thing. That is something which upsets me about Arctic, actually, the fact that they don't include destructions. So you have to kind of wing it a little bit. So if I remember rightly, that goes in there. No, I'm doing it all wrong. I'm doing it all wrong. I need a screwdriver.
Do you want a chocolate? I've got two.
You got two? What have you got?
Both whole nut. You don't like nuts.
I shouldn't really be eating or chewing candy whilst on the stream.
But it is Christmas.
But it is Christmas and...
so bucket.
Yeah. Bucket, exactly. Yeah, Matthew says the 1070 has more cores and the 1660 is close, but slightly less, but better cores. The 1650 is not a bad card. The 1650 Super would probably give it a slightly better run for its money. And have I lost one of those screws already? No, they are there. Right.
David Underhill.
Yeah, David Underhill. Does anyone else think Mike looks like Imhotep from the Mummy movie? I get that a lot. An awful lot. Like, I have done for years. Not, well, mostly from YouTube. All right, let's do some thermal paste spreading. Time to trigger some folk. because a lot of people don't like the way I do it, but it's the way I do it. If you don't like it, you can apply paste. You can apply paste however you like.
Jan's birthday on Monday.
Dutch Jan's birthday. Awesome. How old are you going to be?
That's rude.
What? That's not rude. It's rude to ask a lady. In fact, it's not... Well, I suppose these days anyone gets bloody triggered about stuff, don't they? Right, that'll do. That's not a bad application there. I think I did all right. So,
Praise is no.
self-praise is no recommendation.
I'm rubbish at saying I'm spelling wrong.
Right, so in order to do this now, let's do the overhead. So put that on there, that on there, that one there, and that one there. Now this is where I go wrong quite often because I get this bit round the wrong way. So these brackets, they look like they should be going face down like that, but they don't. They go face up. Or did I get that wrong again? No, they go face up like that. So just plop them on the top and then stick the 4 included screws down through. I'm pretty sure when I did this before, I did it the other way around and it didn't work out very well. And I was like, why are these temperatures sucking? I was like, because you didn't read the instruction manual particularly well. Although saying that, the instruction manual is awful. Arctic are one of those companies where they've gone to the IKEA school of manuals and they just assume that if they show you a relatively good line drawing, it's going to be okay. But things like those brackets in line drawings don't always make a whole lot of sense because you can't see the things like the chamfered sides and edges. And I think I moaned about it before in the previous video, and since then Arctic have not spoken to us. I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
Which CPU is this?
This is the Ryzen 5 3600. All the parts, for anyone who's watching, if you scroll down, look in the video description, you'll see that all the parts are listed, and also there's links as well. So if you want to purchase any, it's very easy to do so. So we're going to go with the cooler now. I do like this actually. It's a pretty darn cool cooler. So we're going to have to unclip this bad boy first. He says, this is the bit where I lose a finger. Because it doesn't come off that easily. Which is good in some respects because you don't want it just falling off at the worst possible time. Oh, come on. This is why you should grow nails.
You do grow nails.
There we go. So peel off the
Worse than wire clips.
peely bit.
Clips, yeah.
It is almost worse than wire clips, but it makes it nice and easy when you get to this bit because you just go boink, boink, and the screws are kind of lined up. So do a couple of turns just to get it started. And do the same on the other side as well.
It's a chunky boy for sure.
It is quite chunky, yes. You're not wrong. I haven't even thought about RAM clearance actually, which I probably should have done. Right, that's all fully done up. So now we can go ahead and put the fan shroud back on. I'm going to pull the wires out from the bottom, just pull them across to the side. And pop that back on. That on? Yeah. It does have a little bit of a wobble to it for some, which is a little bit annoying. Hi Joe, good to see you. Glad you can make it.
Savage, I got the MSI B550 Gaming Plus from your review, came with a 5000 ready sticker.
Awesome. A 5000 ready sticker these days is worth its weight in gold, it really is. The amount of people that are getting problems flashing the BIOS. Funny enough actually, we're having this conversation today, or at least I was with kind of myself. And
myself and
I say we is kind of like the internal combustion engine, which is my brain. But I kind of was, no, there was someone else with me at the time I was talking to. Oh yeah, it was Whiskey 3. So we were talking about problems with a lot of people at the moment getting problems. It seems to be all MSI. And I said, well, the problem is, because obviously on our channel, I've covered a lot of MSI boards, and also we've done a lot of MSI flash videos. And because a lot of those videos rank really highly on YouTube and also on the Google search engine, so if someone's bought an MSI board which we've covered and then searched for the problem, it's going to come up. Now, if you look at how many ASUS boards we've done that actually support BIOS flashback, it's probably 1, maybe 2. So the chances of us getting someone come onto the Discord with a problem with an ASUS board BIOS flash is extremely unlikely, because there's like one video out there which doesn't do particularly well. It's because it hasn't ranked very well. So if you're thinking, if you're actually on our Discord and you're thinking the same, that wow, there's so many people that come here with MSI motherboard problems, it isn't because MSI make bad motherboards. It's just because that our channel has had a lot of impact on the internet in terms of MSI motherboards. So I guess that is what you would look at. The fact that it's not the MSI are shockingly bad. And in fact, for me personally, I've had, how many failure boards have I had with MSI? I'm trying to think. I think I've had 1. I've had 1 MSI board which was a failure, and that was, I bought it as a warehouse deal, so clearly someone else had had a failure with it previously. So I don't think that MSI are inherently a bad manufacturer of motherboards. If they were, I wouldn't buy them. Having said that, I have just purchased a new Gigabyte motherboard just to see what the competition's up to and see what they're like these days. So if you're interested in a very cost-effective AM4 Gigabyte motherboard for the B550 chipset, then there is going to be some videos and reviews coming out on those very, very shortly. In fact, probably Tuesday. Well, we'll get it Tuesday.
Bamboo Belly.
Bamboo Belly.
I love that name.
The old bamboo, the old bamboo. Oh God, is it asking technical questions? Is there too much there to read? Bamboo Belly. Yeah, if there's too much there, someone else might have to jump in. On my local score, I've gotten some deals. Here are the parts, Ryzen 5, 5600G. Asus Prime. That sounds pretty good, I think. I'd have to sit down and have a look at it, but
370.
I did a build recently. Well, actually, Friday's build was the £400 PC build, which was using the same processor. Arguably a slightly better motherboard, I think, but in general very similar. So yeah, if you've got it under £400, then I think you've done pretty well. The MSI Unify didn't fail as such. That one I was a little bit cheeky with, to be honest with you. I should have kept it. What it was is there was an on-running thing where MSI, in the manufacturing process, they used pads which are slightly too thin on the Unify VRM heatsinks, and because of that, the screws didn't tighten up very much, and it caused basically hum or coil whine. So if you put the CPU under any load, you get a whine from the VRM. Now, I bought it, I didn't really want the board, I kind of did and I didn't. So there was something else as well that at the time that I said I wasn't overly happy about. And again, that was one of those warehouse deals I picked up for like 150. In hindsight, I wish I'd have kept it because it was a great board. But no, it went back. I kind of played it a little bit. I got the review out of it, I got the unboxing out of it, so it was kind of like, I'll send it back.
Can the cooler fit in that case?
Can the cooler fit in this case? We will find out. It's 158.5 millimeters. The case has got a limit of 160 millimeters, so there's a millimeter in it. So we might have to be, it might be squeaky bum time. Might have to do a bit of rammy jammy. Right, that is, so we've got our cooler on there. I do like that cooler actually, it does kick ass. Arctic they're a weird company, Arctic. They do some really, really cool stuff, but then they also do some stuff really, really badly. I don't know how they manage to do it, but they do. Anyway, for those of you that are interested, actually, the motherboard that we're going to be reviewing is the Gigabyte B550 Gaming Plus version 2, which is currently actually on offer on Amazon for, I think it's £107, which at the moment is one of the cheapest AM4 boards that actually makes a reasonable amount of sense. So if you are looking to do an upgrade or looking to do a build, I would strongly suggest checking it out. It's a very, very cool little board. Plenty of RGB on it, plenty of fan headers. It's a reasonably good VRM solution on there. Not really anything that you can complain about. I don't think it's got any M.2 coolers on it, which some people do tend to get a little bit triggered by. But personally, myself, I'm not really bothered either way. It's always something like that you can rectify quite easily. So I wouldn't spend an extra £50 to get a more expensive motherboard with a VRM cooler. With a M.2 cooler, just because it had an M.2 cooler. For £50, you'd be better off spending that on, I don't know, double up on your RAM or something. Oh God. Silo 69. Do you think Asus Strix RX 588 gig for $107 is a good deal? I don't know. It doesn't sound terrible. You can buy RX 580s brand new from AliExpress for 70 quid. So that equates to, what, $80 maybe? 75, 80. So, I don't know. If it's been particularly well looked after and you know the original owner, it's not a great price. It's an okay price. Being that it's a Strix card, it does hold a little bit more value. So, that is definitely something to consider. Right, now what camera am I actually even on? Oh, that one. Okay, let's go with the OBSBot for a bit. Where the hell? It's gone to sleep. Wakey, wakey. Hello. Cav's panicking. There's panic on the dance floor. Is it working? Focus on me. Right, it's on fix now. You can't even see that, can they? You can't even see the power supply. That's useless. Right, I'll go with the... Actually, do that again and... Will it zoom?
Put your head right down low and then fix it.
Did that work?
Yeah.
So, just watch myself. You shouldn't laugh at yourself. It's not very...
Put your head down really low and then fix it.
It didn't fix it. It just... Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, no, it's zoom. I don't want zoom. Piss off. Oh, damn it. Demonetized. There. Hey, that's worked. Well done. Who thought of that?
That was me.
No, it wasn't.
It was with my rubbish hair.
Yeah. Your crazy little Brian didn't think of that.
It did.
Right, so this is our power supply. Back time we actually had a half decent power supply on this program. So this is the Coolermaster MWE, not the MPE, which is what I actually put in a lot of the video notes, which is probably why this video didn't do very well, because I don't think the MPE, I think the MPE is like a rubbish one. Anyway, it's a gold 550 watt V2. This is going to be absolutely fine. Nice clicky buttons, etc. And it's modular AF, which is always nice. So I'm going to need some power supply thing. So what do I need? I'm going to need a CPU connector. Definitely going to need one of those. I'm going to need a GPU connector. Definitely going to need one of those. Going to need a CPU. And I'm probably going to need a SATA as well, because we've got some SATA shenanigans going on with the old, what's it called, doodah? The RGB in the fans. Is that a better CPU connector? it did strike me as very odd that this power supply came with 2 CPU plugs, but only 1 GPU plug. Which I kind of get, because a 550 watt gold, probably 550 watt isn't enough for 2 graphics cards. But it is probably enough for a higher end CPU and a graphics card. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it does. Anyway, that is all the wires we need, so we can chuck the rest of it back away in the box.
What temp is it now?
What temperature? 24.3 degrees Celsius.
Cooler now, but...
Cooler? That's bloody boiling. I'll have to take off a layer. Right, let's plug these in. So CPU, that one there. That one there. And we've got the GPU. That one can go there. We've got the main power. This is going to be a cool little system. It's been actually a little while since I've built a system which I have any kind of actual why did I get the other CPU cable out? That I've had any actual kind of even remote emotional attachment to. But sometimes you get a little build put together and it's like, oh, these are cool little parts. And then you get to the point where it's like, you really like it and you don't actually want to do anything with it, you just want to keep it and use it. I'm sadly starting to think that is what is going to happen with this. But I have no use for it really, so anyway. Let's have a look at the case then. So we can take off all the panels. Got some white panels here. It's a shame actually, there is a couple of MSI boards which have got a little bit more of a white accent to them. Such as, I think the torpedo, or is it the mortar? One of those. Those might have fared a little bit better. Might have looked a little bit better. So there we go, there is the case, nice and open.
Like a dairy cow.
Like it. Well, the case?
Yeah, that's what Dave Brooks says.
Like a dairy cow?
Black and white.
It's like a it's like a gateway computer from the 2000s where they had the animal print on it.
Oh, I feel like a poppy case.
Right, I'm going to need my 5mm wrench because we are going to need to put in some more of the, you can't see from there, can you? Let's see if I can get this round here. Oh, there's too many things here. So we're going to have to put in a few more of the mounting pillars for the motherboard, which fortunately, well actually we don't need that. I was thinking I need my wrench for this, but actually Aerocool is one of those cool companies which actually supply a little wrench adapter, so you can put that onto a cross-headed screw.
James Brock.
James Brock, was he being? I can't.
I don't know if I can read it out loud.
Oh no.
Thank you again, Mike, for introducing me to her.
James.
Are you doing any more fix or flop videos?
I'm trying to. I am.
But we've found nobody wants us to mend it for free.
I've offered free services. I haven't gone all out on it, to be honest with you. So I've just done a couple of posts on a local Facebook group. So I wasn't expecting a massive response. You get the odd one or two. There has been a couple of people that have asked, and they're like, I've got a hard drive which I've lost all my photos on. Can you help me? Can you recover my data? And I'm thinking, well, that's not really one of those videos that is going to be very interesting for people. So I said to the person, I can probably help you out. What do you need? Blah, blah, blah. Ask a few questions. And then suggested to them to try a couple of things. And they're like, oh, we managed to find all the data we needed actually on another disk somewhere. So it's all right, we don't need to do it now. So it's like, oh. There we go. That's that blown off then. So yeah, it's not through lack of trying. It really isn't. and the kind of fix or flop things. I actually enjoy doing. I'm envisaging after Christmas there's going to be a lot of them, because you know it's going to be little Johnny has got his dad to go and buy a PC off of Facebook Marketplace from some shady person, and they've got it all boxed up in that, ready to go, and they've just said, yeah, there you go, it's all working, blah blah blah, and then they're running all the way to the bank, and come Christmas Day they'll turn it on and it'll just go bang, or things just won't be as good as it should be. So yes, I expect to have my services called upon, which is always a shame. When I worked in the computer shop, the first day we opened after Christmas Day, you turn up for work, you drive up towards the shop, and there'll be a small queue of people outside with boxes in their hands. And it always got to the point where I'm like, oh God, here we go. Who's going to be the most angry? Luckily, in fairness, a lot of them were pretty good and quite understandable. There was the occasional one who'd be like, oh, you've ruined Christmas. Like, well, technically I didn't. You did by not firing up and checking it before Christmas. But if you want to blame me, you feel free. People like to do that. People like to blame other people for stuff. I would if I bought, say, a hi-fi system, which I don't know a great deal about, and I bought it for a Christmas present for one of the kids. You can guarantee I would be trying that thing out before Christmas Day just to make sure it actually works.
Every night before
we did.
Gave it, didn't we?
We did a lot of checking of their Xbox to make sure it worked when they were little.
Every night, and we didn't wrap it to the last minute just in case.
You never can be sure. You got to keep on testing these things because they can get broken just going in and out of a box. That's right, yeah. Oh, those were the days.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it?
That was when the kids wanted sensible stuff for Christmas. I need another. They've not put enough bloody thingies in there. That's a bit upsetting. Oh, there's one.
You know what? That must be like 20 years ago now.
I know.
Because we weren't even living here, were we?
Time flies. It really does. Is that going to fit? Oh, it doesn't fit. It will fit if I give it a bit of a push. There we go.
David Underhill, I had a neighbour bringing a new $150 desktop computer. He wanted me to install Windows on it for him. It was just a case.
I shouldn't laugh, but that's awesome. It's amazing, actually. There is a lot of people out there that are clearly not entirely sure what they're doing in the world. And I get it a few times, like the CIT F3 case, which is like a £25, £30 case. We've done a review on it. It's one of the early ones. And I go through, pointing out the case, and obviously there's not a build in it. It's just like an unboxing video. And loads of people ask, so is this an entire PC? It's like, you've watched the video clearly to be able to ask the question, did you see an entire PC inside of it? It's an empty case, it looks like this. Is that a computer? No. I might have to do that. I might call this the Ms. Thorn when it's done. God bless it and all those who sail in there. Right. Oh, I chucked the box away before I actually got the IO shield out. That was a rookie mistake. There's me thinking there wasn't going to be an IO shield. Oh, how wrong was I? Alessa says, people are dumb. People are getting dumber. There's 100%. Well, there's actually scientific evidence. Dumber. People are getting dumber. It's a thing. I've seen it on TV, so it must be true. Now, it is actually a scientific proven fact that people are getting dumber. Which is weird. Do you think that people would get smarter? But I think maybe technology is kind of taking away some of the need to be smart. Because you can just Google something and be Smart, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I would agree. People are becoming, I wouldn't say dumber, but probably less smart or less knowledgeable. Actually, no, that's the wrong word as well. They're not less knowledgeable. They're less awake or aware. Yeah, it's like one of those things, isn't it? I'll tell you what, I need a light with more color rendering index. Right, let's flip this down. Let's go over to the overhead.
Lazy thinking, Mike.
Lazy thinking. Yeah, I think it kind of, there is a bit of that about it. A lot of people don't want to think. Like, I get loads of people, and I mean loads of people, moaning about how long some of the videos are. And my whole thing is, I'm making the video to help people, but also primarily to help people learn, so that they have some form of awareness of why the problem exists. So if they face the problem again at a later point in their life, they can then think, I've experienced this before, I've learned about this before, and I now have the appropriate answer to address the problem. But a lot of people just want the short step, you know, just the quick answer.
Ugly Bob. Don't think you'd like to say out loud, Mike.
Ugly Bob. Okay, where does it say?
Not really allowed to even say that out loud, but I think that's one of the boycotted things to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to say that, Bob. And why is this not matching up? God damn some bitch. Oh, damn it. I've done it again. Ah, there it is. I didn't have it fully in, said Michelle.
The more knowledge we got, the more dumber we be.
Yeah. That is true. That is very true.
A man's handshake is half the pressure it was 25 years ago too.
Who said that?
Really random reviews.
Yeah, when I was younger, it was always taught that you'd give somebody a nice firm handshake to kind of give the impression of sincerity. So not overly kind of like smash your hand to pieces type thing. I've used the wrong screw there. Is that going to bring out the bloody thing with it? Oh, I said bloody, damn it.
Ugly Bob wrote his comment a little while ago, but that's what she said. Fitted in quite nicely with what you're doing.
Oh, right. If all else fails, just keep on screwing until you can't screw no more. Put that on a t-shirt. There we go. No doubt I'll have forgotten something and it will have to all come back out again.
Really random.
I will cry.
I believe smart devices are a major cause in mental decline. Definitely.
Yeah, probably. Smart devices are kind of cool, but they're also a little bit on the lazy side, I think, personally. When I look at Linus's house and the amount... Oh, crap. There we go. Instant karma. When you look at Linus's house and all the technology he's got running it, if he has a power cut, he's knackered. His life is over. Although I guess he has probably got a generator if he's got a house that big. Or three. Oh. There you go. You can almost see what's going on in there. You'll see it in a minute when I flip it around.
Who makes Noctua?
Noctua makes Noctua. They are their own brand. Right, there we go. There is the build so far. Not looking bad. So I'm just going to run some of these cables around the back. So we're going to take the addressable RGB cable for the addressable RGB cooler. I'm just going to run that back out the back. That can plug in. I won't plug that in now. I'll wait till we're ready for that.
Another cup of tea?
Yes, I think I would like another cup of tea. I'd like one of William Boda's
Oh,
cappuccinos.
how many spoons pinfalls do you put in?
4 in mine, 3 in yours.
Oh, I nearly didn't grab that then.
Make sure you grab it. That's what Michelle said.
Nice and firmly.
Nice firm handshake. As long as it's just a handshake. Right, let's do some cable management here because it's starting to look a little messy already. So I'm going to take the main cables through and we'll stick some of those in. So we've got the HD audio, got a overly pronounced H in HD.
Sorry, 3 in mine, 4 in yours.
Yeah.
How many sugars
1.
for you?
You don't really need them, but
Milk.
yeah, lots of milk. Lots and lots of milk. What was I saying? I was saying something and I can't remember what I said now. Cass put me off my stroke, so to speak. I don't like where this USB connector is at the bottom because it's really close and trying to get it to bend over is hard work. See if I can get it to go in. If I actually had one of those right angle connectors, it would be awesome.
You did have one somewhere. What did you have that on?
What's...
I know, connector. I thought you meant a screwdriver.
Oh, that's not fitting now. If
You should ask terrific for it.
right, pins. Any pins bent? Don't think so. Well, that all appears to be okay, I think. I don't want to go in. Let's try and bend it round the other way. Did go in eventually.
James brought this great coffee on the stove.
What? James brought what?
Percolates, I assume.
Oh, percolates coffee on. Yeah, we've got about 4 coffee machines, and we never use them. Primarily because we're tight and they cost too much money to run.
But we do make our special coffee on the stove.
We do, we do. Oh yeah, special coffee.
What do you do?
I did a wink to the camera. You know, like one of those third person things where, like they do in movies. Right, we're going to do the front I/O. So bottom left, first of all, hard drive LED. Then next to that, we're going to have power reset switch. Although saying that, are we going to have reset switch? No, we're not. I've actually gone a little bit too far there because the reset switch needs to be repurposed. I forget this.
Sorry, William Bodie called Ugly Bob, you dirty old man. Ugly Bob said, William Bodie, I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
You crazy kids. Right, so the reset switch gets repurposed and goes into the top of the RGB hub. Oh man, I have got possibly, arguably, one of the best cases I've ever seen to work with shortly. And it's under an embargo. So I'm not allowed to show you it, and I'm not allowed to tell you about it, and I'm not allowed to show you it or anything like that. And it's doing my head in. But it is going to end up replacing the VXR. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. It's actually going to be a white case as well. So we're going back to our roots. Do you guys remember when we used to have the white InWin case up there? The InWin 101C? That was a cool case. I did like that. This isn't an InWin case, by the way, that is going to be replacing it. So I can say that. I think I'm allowed to say it's from Thermaltake. If not, well, sorry. Adam, Sorry, if you're watching. And actually, I would, from my initial impressions, obviously it's not a review, I'm not going to give anything away, but from my initial impressions, I think it's possibly going to be the best case that Thermaltake have ever made.
That's still spinning.
Wow.
That's hand action on that one.
Got some hand action going on there. I do want to tell you more about it, but I can't, because I will get into all sorts of trouble. And also, I'm still waiting for some other bits to go with it. So, right, let's plug in some addressable. Actually, I said I was going to do that later, so I'm going to do that later. I should put a power supply in really, but I want to get some of these wires out of the way first of all. Letter says it can't be better than the View 51. From my point of view, it is. But obviously, that is the beauty of us all being individuals, is that you are well within your rights to disagree. I won't listen, but you're more than welcome to disagree. I think you'll like it. I genuinely think you'll like it. I think everyone will. I don't think there's nothing about it that I can see that anyone could turn around and say, I don't want this case because of. I can't see that there's any negatives about it. And that's unusual for me, because normally I do like, even the best of cases, I find faults with. I guess that's kind of my thing. That is, I'm never 100% satisfied.
James Brock, what did you think of my Thermaltake PSU score I told you about?
PSU. God, I can't remember. I can't remember what it was you said now. I'm really digging deep for this one. I honestly can't remember what it was. What deal was it you got? I can't remember what it was. My brain. Right, I've got a fan connector here. Where shall I connect it to? I kind of want to put it somewhere at the bottom, but I'm thinking system fan, because the software is going to be controlled by the fan. The fans are going to be controlled by the software. So I want it to make sense actually in the MSI app. So I'm thinking if I do it as system fan 1. Sysfan, where's sysfan 1? Pump fan, no, don't want that one. Pump fan 3. Fan 2. No, fan 1 is up here, so I don't want that one because that's a little bit too close. Actually, where's the fan hub? No, I'm going to do it. I'll do it to fan header 2 because that's close enough. At least it should be on the right page. I am overthinking some of this, I'll be honest. Right, I'm going to put the power supply in. So we're looking good. I'm a bit concerned. Oh, actually, no, the glass is going to fit. That is a cool motherboard. No, cool motherboard. I love how they do it. The I/O. What screen is it on? You can see that motherboard there, the I/O.
Oh.
It's all good. Actually,
I thought you meant the actual side.
you can end that poll now because that is done. I can't even find my mouse. It's gone, disappeared.
I do it on my phone, and I got it on there.
Where's my mouse gone? I had a mouse once.
RTX 66%, Kolink 33.
Good.
Very satanic.
Satanic numbers, everybody.
It only adds up to 99.
We are, everybody.
How does that only add up to 99?
How does it add up to 99%? Because it's Google. Have you ever met Google? They're lunatics. All of them.
I had to work with statistics.
They don't do statistics.
33%
Oh, right, here we go. This is where the problems start. So I can't get the power supply in now because I put the cables in. That was a rookie mistake. I thought there was going to be enough room there. Oh no, it might go. Which cable is it causing the kerfuffle? It's the HD audio. So I'm going to have to take that out. That is a real bugbear of mine, of when you're trying to put a power supply in and the HD audio lead gets in the way. Cases should be designed with that sort of thing in mind. Why won't that go in now? Right, so this is the case's fatal flaw. Well, it's not fatal, but it is a slight flaw that the... oh, I'm going to have to take the drive cage out.
JB's arcade mod.
Yes.
I must say I am loving my MSI Vigor, how you say it?
Vigor.
Vigor GK50 I got recently, but I feel like it's giving me eye strain. Maybe that's why you keep getting eye strain.
That's the GK50 up there, and if you think the GK50 gives you eye strain, you want to try the GK71. That thing is like on steroids. Oh, that's something else you're not allowed to mention on YouTube anymore either. Anything related to drugs or the taking of drugs. That is against the monetization policy. I forgot about that one earlier. This is like a bit of a workout.
You had a bit of a workout yesterday, didn't you?
I did. I had a workout yesterday. I actually went out and I brought some pallets home from local shop, and also then borrowed some from a neighbour's garden. And dragging a pallet home, like you can lift a pallet, most people can lift a pallet, it's pretty easy to do. But actually dragging one for like half a mile.
It's not half a mile.
It probably is.
It's not.
Of course it is.
It's 5 miles into town.
Yeah.
That's like a 4-minute walk.
It's a 6-minute
Without
walk.
pallet.
Well,
Well,
if I'm walking, if I'm walking at 3 miles an hour and it's 6 minutes away, and I get there in 6 minutes, that's about half a mile, isn't it? Because in an hour I would have travelled half a mile. No, that's wrong. I forget I said any of that. I have no idea what I'm talking about, clearly. Much like I've got no idea how I'm going to get the HD audio lead back in here now. This could be problematic.
Not allowed any performance enhancing videos, only natural content.
Yeah, no performance enhancements. Ooh, look at that. Cable's just a little on the short side, otherwise that would have been... Oh, man. I'd have liked to have done that around there. I wonder if I could still do it. Bizarrely, I can pass the cables through very easily. And can almost see them. Ooh, I think I might have even plugged that in right as well. Stroof. I did. Oh, it's a little bit too short now. Oh well, I'll have to go down through there. That'll do. That'll do. Right. Let's sort this mess. I was looking forward to this part. I'm looking forward to it less. It's a little bit cramped down here. Oh well. Can't have it all. At least it's nice and easy to get to our cables. So I'll wire up the the EPS connector in the roof. The good thing about this roof as well, having that little bit of an extension up the top there, is that it's actually very easy to get to all the wires and cabling. That is just like, oh, so easy. When a case makes things easy, it's just a joy to work with. It's a shame there isn't a cutout at the bottom for the graphics card cable to go. Although saying that, because it's a Founders, it plugs into the end anyway, so might be alright. We might be alright there, pig. Piglet. Whatever. Right. So I've only got one addressable RGB connection, haven't I, which is the CPU cooler. And we need a SATA for the RGB. So you see, whether or not I'm going to be able to get the hard drive cage back in here is debatable. I kind of want to do it, but at the same time, cage back in or cage out? I'm thinking probably cage out, just for simplicity's sake. I can cable tie some of this away.
Cage out for the lads.
I kind of thought it would have been. I had an inkling. Right, I'm going to put a cable tie around this and hope and pray, yeah. We don't use hard drives these days, do we? Very few people do. I'm not going to put a hard drive in there anyway, because I know hard drives have got a place and people will need them, but it's one of those kind of slightly more legacy devices. I hate to say that legacy word, but it kind of, in this instance, it actually does make a lot of sense because they are. So we've now got our 24-pin power cable, which is going to come through, oh, it would be there, wouldn't it? Just do it on that side. Or do I do it that side? I'll do it that side. I don't like making my mind up at times.
Out, so increases airflow. It burns.
Out?
Keep it out.
Oh, out, yeah. Oh, see, yeah, airflow for underneath the cage. I gotcha. Gotcha, Gov. Oh, all dust. Yes, I did need to do that. The other side of the cables. Ow!
Uggs has 1 2 terabyte hard drive that have my definitely not prom folder on it.
Ugly Bob doesn't have prom. Right, is that going to fit there? Go, cable tie, you bugger. There we go. Oh, I said bugger. Shit. Oh. It's hard not to. I brought this up actually on Adam IT's stream today. I said to him, are you aware of the new rules and regulations as regard to monetization and streaming, etc. on YouTube? And he wasn't aware of the new changes. And he said that he doesn't swear on any of his videos, which is very admirable. I'll be honest with you, I struggle not to at times. In a normal video it's absolutely fine, but for a live stream when you've got so much going on, like, I don't swear a lot, I don't think, in real life.
Don't get a word in edgeways with me.
Yeah. I'm the clean one, the clean talking one. Kath's the one who says all the profanities.
Never used to.
She's a lot less patient these days. Oh my god, that is so close to those those are really close to the SM things. The surface mounted diodes and thing.
Breathe through it, Babs.
I am breathing through it. I'll have contractions in a minute. Forceps.
Knock out slot covers.
What a great card. Right, so let's put some screwy dangles in there to hold that in place. If I can even get to them. I don't like these blanking plate covers. This whole thing. Just very... ugh. Anyway, what's everybody doing for Christmas? I think I got my heart set on just sitting around being depressed. Yeah, I think that's the way to go for Christmas. Just get drunk, be depressed, and eat way too many chocolates, and then spend the first couple of months of the next year trying to burn it all off. I think that makes
Carrying pallets back.
by carrying pallets back. Yeah. Lots of pallets. There we go. RTX. Aletta says nothing. I don't celebrate Xmas. David says for Xmas I do bugger all. Oh, I said bugger, damn it. James Brock says gonna drink heavily. Bob says saying that I can't wait to see goddaughter on Xmas Eve when I give her all her presents. Aw. Dutch Jan on the couch with the feet on the table. Awesome. Jay's going to play all those games that he's bought during the year and not touched yet. Welly Bob's going to be Christmas running around all the local pubs sprinkling bull dust about. Arthur's going to be recovering. I hope you get better soon. David says, I only have a sister I don't talk to and an ex-wife who doesn't talk to me. That sounds perfect. That's got to be... You're living the dream. There's lots of people out there who have to do stuff with families and they don't want to. I think that's it though. We're all very similar in that respect, aren't we? Because there's... if you haven't got anyone at Christmas, you want someone. And if you have got someone, and we've got like a massive family and loads of stuff you have to do, you want the peace and quiet. We're contrary individuals. Balance. Ooh, have I broken that cable? Nope, just where I've cable tied it.
I wanted it to go dark when you were looking.
Ah. Thank you for the super chat. That is coming from Stuart Cleary, €10. Says, going to finally install my 5800X and 3080 Ti. What, have you just had it sat around? Oh my God. Although saying that, I'm just as bad. I've got that amazing case under my desk, which I should have done a build in by now. And I haven't touched it. Well, I've taken it out, I've admired it and put it back in the box. But we are getting closer to the non-disclosure agreement date. So soon I will be able to get out. The actual release date of the case is January the 5th, I believe. So that's when they're going to be releasing it at CEX. That is when I am officially allowed to show it and demonstrate it. How I'm going to manage to not have it on show before then is going to be very tricky. I'm going to have to end up doing a build a couple of days beforehand and then basically not have any videos that show anything in the background or just put a cloth over it or something, which will look very, very ghetto. There we go, there's our power cable in. And move that around a little bit. This could do with a little bit more cable management, really. But it doesn't look too unappealing, I think. Although, like I've said a million times before, what I think doesn't matter. It's what you lot think is the important thing. Until I turn the video off, and then it's what I'm thinking. Right, so let's plug this in and see how she looks. Letter says, NDA suck, I'm a ghostwriter, so I live under them. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, I'll be honest with you. But it is what it is. Come on. Right, let's see if this thing actually works. Although I can't plug it into... actually, I should... Can I plug it into a monitor? Yeah, I actually got a little one, haven't I, somewhere? I can dig that out. So that is off currently. I thought I put a power supply in upside down for a minute. God. Idiots! RTX 2070 in full overkill mode. And silence. Oh. And rebooting. Let's go to RGB onboard mode. Rainbow puke for everybody. Nice. I suppose really I should choose a green color for the GeForce RTX. Not too bad. I quite like it. A few little TV issues there. I'll look from this side, so can I? Oh, you can see it, yeah. That is quite nice looking. Those LEDs are so bright, aren't they, on the Arctic cooler?
Is there any wood on that new case?
Is there any wood? No.
I don't think there was.
Let's have a drink.
Thank you, William Bodie. That's so nice.
Yeah, that's William Bodie's cappuccino mix. It's got so much sugar in it. It keeps you going though. Woo. So there we go. What do we think? I've got a... There's actually even rainbow puke LEDs down the side as well of the motherboard, which I don't know if you can see from there. Oh, I suppose you can do, yeah. Just see it reflecting on the back there. So the motherboard itself actually even has addressable RGBs.
It says...
It's a great motherboard. It really is a great motherboard.
Shame about the RGB on the different fans.
Oh, that, yeah, that being slightly different. Yeah, I'm actually tempted to take that CPU cooler out and replace it with a standard static one, just to remove some of that extra RGB. What have I got that would go in there?
And then...
I could do the Phantom Black, because bizarrely the Phantom Black's got white blades on it. But then that's a bit of a monster cooler.
There's something magical about seeing life in a PC after just completing a new build.
There is, I would agree.
Arctic discontinue the bare aluminium freezer 34.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. Possibly. Quite possibly. There we go. And the...
Apart from the RGB is bang tidy.
That graphics card is going to be absolutely awesome. So actually let's change the RGB to green so we can have a little bit of a Nvidia glow.
Hyper 212 would look nice in that build.
Hyper 212, yeah. Or the, was it the XT 214 from, oh, what is the brand that does that one? The SE 214 XT and the 244. Can't remember the brand. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. The metal DT24 would be okay in there, but that is a bit too big. Fuma 2, possibly. Noctua U12S. Get some brown and beige going on in there.
Sweet Tooth.
I have. Oh, Sweet Tooth. ID Coolin, thank you, Shrek. Sweet Tooth, I can't see Sweet Tooth. Oh, Sweet Tooth, hi. That is almost my PC. Coolermaster Elite 335U, Z370M Aorus Gaming, i7 800 4300, 16 gigs of RAM, Master Watt 550 bronze, RTX 2060 Super, one click OC. Nice one.
And then, did Mike put the RGB on the keyboard in the back on a spin?
No, that is the default for MSI keyboards. If you put it into rainbow mode, it goes into that spinning mode. Yeah, I think I'm quite actually happy with this. That Arctic freezer is going to be keeping that processor so cool. I can't wait to do some tests on it and see what it's like. And obviously the RTX 2070, I think that's still a stunning looking card. It doesn't look quite as stunning, I don't think, in the, I don't know. What do you think, horizontal or vertical? I think vertical would show it off a little bit better, but you do get some weird results with temps on it then. Pretty quiet though, considering it's running at 40%. Excuse me, running at 40% all the time. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I can turn it off. It's gone into Windows now, isn't it? So it'll take a while. Thank you. And I can do some testing on that. So I'm going to pack this away, and then we can have a little bit of a chat. Actually finished a little bit earlier than I expected. Unbelievable. I'm going to take this jacket off a minute because I'm starting to get sweaty barrack.
No, I didn't say that.
I didn't say it. It's unbelievable. Flame and Poppy both just sleeping away there. Not a care in the world. Not a care. Right, Kath, I'm going to put on the OBSBot camera a minute. So
Yeah,
it won't get you.
there,
It won't get you.
right.
There we go. OBSBot in the house.
Getting some spetties.
Oh, come on. Right. Oh yeah. You got to do that so it tracks you. There you go. And I know exactly what you're thinking. Mike, you're a lot taller in real life than I thought. Oh.
That's because I put the shelves down low.
That's yeah, I did. I put the shelves down a lot lower than they should be. Glass, I know. I was thinking the glass is going to fall out, but that was one of the key selling points of this case, is that the glass doesn't fall out. Not that's a key selling point. Look at the shelves, all stocked up with loads of stuff and empty boxes. The fans shelf actually needs another support in it. That's something I need to do. Remind me to do that. I need to take all those things off and then put up a shelf bracket support, and then extra brackets on there to hold it all before it all falls down. Because that may kill a cat and or me. And as much as I like a good laugh, being killed by my own shelves is probably not ideal. Breaking things. Right, so that is Monday's videos sorted then. So benchmarking and things I would do differently.
Shelf building.
Oh, and shelf building
And you did
once
one
I finished all that.
You did one on the list yesterday. What did you do this week?
I did. I took the bottom off the door today
So you
that,
can
that
actually
needed
shut
doing,
it.
so we can actually close the living room door to keep the cold out or in.
Keep my mum in at Christmas.
Keep Caps a minute Christmas, yeah. Get in there. I don't care. I'm not turning heating on.
Oh, she's all ready.
Put another bloody coat on.
She won't want it on anyway.
Put another coat on.
I might take one of my hoodies off.
Yeah. Here, I have one of my hoodies. I'm getting a bit sweaty. I can never remember what goes in where. I'll just take a guesstimate. Alright, those can go in the bin, but I'm not going to walk over that side. Let's read out any questions, Kath, if there is any.
I'm getting confused with William and Stuart. Mike did say something about he was a member, but don't know what he did mean. So asked, but nothing.
A member?
I'm not understanding.
I'm not too sure what that was.
He is a highly liked member, but we haven't heard from him in a while. Don't know who that is. Explain.
Yeah, Stuart and William. Who are you talking about? Letter says, nice looking camera on the ceiling. Yeah, that is the Panasonic Lumix G7. So that is the camera we actually, when we first started doing the channel, or almost first started doing the channel, that was the camera that we'd use all the time.
About 6 months in.
And yeah, that was used for ages. Then I upgraded that to the G85, which is basically the same thing again almost. And then the the S5, which is what we use now.
Hashtag blame Dave. Dave's been...
Hashtag blame Dave.
Week, he's been around.
Yeah, Dave's been around. He was briefly in the Discord this week. He's been doing his kitchen floor. And
quite often has date night on Saturdays.
And he did say that he was, well, he had a bit of a cold, didn't he? Felt a bit fluey. So he might be a little bit under the weather. If you are Dave and you're watching this, hope you feel better soon. If you're A-OK and you're not here, then yeah, still hope you feel better soon. If you're watching this, you won't feel better soon. You feel like you need a holiday. Why is there 2 bags? Yeah. Oh, that was the bag for the 2070. I'm going to keep that one.
No need for Christmas lights this year, just gather around the MSI keyboard.
Yeah.
We haven't had a tree for, it's our 5th year?
Yeah, this will be the 4th year, I think, of not having a Christmas tree put up.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's so liberating not doing Christmas decorations.
And not doing Christmas, really.
When you live in a house where basically everything is RGB anyway, it's kind of nice to not have extra RGB. Because you do get a little bit sick of it. I used to love, actually, years and years, well, not years and years ago, but a while back, just going into the front room where it's basically everything in there is pretty much white or neutral tones. Just go in there and sit there and just soak up the soak up the tranquility, I guess you'd say it would. Right, so that is that. That can go away, that can go away. That goes in there. Need to clean that off with some blue roll, which I need to buy some more of tomorrow. I have to work out where I'm going to use this Kolink cooler at some point. I might have to put that on Facebook Marketplace for a tenner or something. CPU cooler box, that I've got to go with that. I think that's it. We're rocking and rolling. Don't get too near Calf. She'll get upset. I've seen the delay now. That over there, in case you're wondering, is my my desk. That's where I normally live. My computer and everything is packed away in there.
Same on the other side of that fire.
Yeah, Kath's got exactly the same thing. Right, let's go back to the main camera and see what you have been saying. Jay says, no need to, yeah, we did that one. Aesthetically pleasing YouTube name. Hello, Mike. From Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. How are you? I am very reasonable. Shrek says, that deep cool LT720 looks so sharp. It's very angular. Sharp is the exact word for it. I'm almost at a blue roll and I'm down to the last few strips. That's upsetting. I've been cleaning, so there we go. Right, I think that is, we're done. We are done. That can go there. I keep on thinking, what's that I can smell? It smells really nice, and I realise it's actually me. When you get to a certain age, as a gentleman of a certain age, it's not often you can say that to yourself. Especially after you've had a hard day doing stuff, cleaning and making PCs and sweating. To actually realise that you actually smell pretty cool is excellent. Self-praise and all that. For those of you wondering what it is the fantastic stuff that is Dr. Swatch, who still won't let me become an affiliate for some reason. I don't know why. I think they just hate me in general. The bastards. No, there goes me monetization. See, not only do I not get commission from Dr. Swatch, I think I get demonetized as well. Ah, nightmare. Stuart Cleary's come in with 20 euros. Thank you, Stuart Cleary. Says, thanks guys, because I saved a fortune by not going out on the town tonight, and this is the best Saturday night stream. Oh, bless you. That's very kind of you. I would be tempted to agree. The best is probably...
Pushing it.
Yeah, it's good at times. It has its ups and downs. Jay's B's Arcade Mod says, might be too sweaty. No, that's good. It's Dr. Swatch. It's the Aloe. I think it's called Aloe Fresh Deodorant. It's basically they say it's 100% natural. It's really good. I like it. I didn't when I first got it actually, but it seems to be growing on me. Literally. Not literally. I haven't got like fungus growing or anything. At least I don't think I have. No, there's nothing in there. Is that a 30 Atlee I see in that PC at the back? I don't know what those words mean. Thomas says, if the Kolink cooler will be for £10, then I'm buying it. William Bodie says, Mike on the creepy cam, were you out of sync? Oh, I don't know, I might have been.
It might be when you switch back to that one, it takes a while to focus on you, doesn't it?
It might be, yeah. Am I out of sync now?
No. Oh, I don't know about out of sync.
1, 2, 3.
Thinking about focus.
Letter says, this is the only live stream I chat on. The rest I hide in chat and I hide the chat and just watch. Oh, that's very nice of you. Well, you are an integral part of the community. You've been with us from very, very early on. David Andrew says, my Saturday night was killing uglies on Doom 2016. John says, aloe vera. What advert is that from? It was something to do with aloe vera, wasn't it? Aloe vera.
Is it an advert?
Yeah, it's an advert for something. Was it like some sort of washing powder or something? I don't know. Or some conditioner or shampoo maybe. Obviously I don't know about shampoos, clearly. Nick Barnes says, did you resolve the AliExpress RX 580 issue? No, actually it is. I'll show you actually. I have got it here. It is quite handy. So you'll probably see this in the video. I have done a video and I've edited it today. But this is how the card arrived. You see it's very, very well packaged. But there is a fatal flaw with this packaging. So it's a padded outer envelope, which was done particularly tight as well. Inside of that, there is the like hard drive type of packaging. So you've got this foam stuff. But if you press on it here, because these are very, well, basically it's like a rubber ring. And we've all seen it on Jackass and stuff like that. If you think of a larger version of a rubber ring or an inflatable, is something like the kids' inflatables. So you normally get what some kids on the end, someone else comes along bouncing and they go flying off because the air has to go somewhere. That is the problem with this. Unfortunately, the air has to go somewhere. So if it takes any direct knocks or bangs here, it translates. You can actually see the box. I don't know if you can see it on that angle. Let me do the overhead, see if you can get an idea. So if I press on there, you can see the box flexing in the middle. That bit isn't moving, but the bit in the middle is. So there's nowhere for the energy to go. So if you get a big impact on the side, all of that impact goes straight into the box, which for most people...
You've got that thing on the screen so you can't really see.
Ah, sorry.
You've gone past that.
Clear.
You keep pointing
Sorry.
exactly where that thing is.
So anyway, you get what I mean. So this is the box. Now the box, this would normally be okay if this bit wasn't as well packed, but they've used closed cell foam. So closed cell foam is really dense, and again, it's like one of those things. If you try and squeeze it, you can do, but the energy goes somewhere, and it goes to the path of least resistance. So unfortunately, in this particular instance, because the card's in here fans up, any direct impact on the top goes through and that impact goes into the fans. So unfortunately, as you're about to see, I'm feeling as well, it got very, very cold because it's been cold here anyway and it's been in transit. It did actually get so cold that it actually managed to perforate the anti-static bag. So something has cut that, like a knife almost. I don't think it was poppy. I'm pretty sure it was done in transit. So basically the fan that was here, it was normally a twin fan. The fan that was here did not spin. It was absolutely solid. You could just about move it with your fingers. And it didn't feel right, as if it was like more than just the fan bearings or something. So I messaged them and asked them what I could do about it. And they said, it's probably down to excess force in transit. And it's like, well, yes, I understand that is likely what has happened. That doesn't help me. So they're like, pull the fan. So, okay, so I pulled the fan and basically the whole thing just separated, and I think I've got the bits. Where did I put the bits, Kath?
No idea.
They are around here somewhere because I moved them just before we started the stream. Guarantee I'm not going to be able to find them now. But anyway, the fan basically split into multiple... Ah, there we go. So there is the fan, one part of it. To be fair, actually that bit I did pull out a little bit further than it was meant to. But this was the plastic bracket that was holding the fan in place. So normally that was kind of something like that, with the fan attached to it, and it was basically like a one-piece thing. So this shattered that part, and basically, yeah, when I pulled it, it basically pulled the whole lot out, which was not great, although the back plate was still in, but I did pull that off entirely so I could remove it. So effectively I've got a graphics card which has got one fan, and it does seem that the PWM style connection on this side actually has the rotational sensor on it. So even though you can send information to the fan to tell it what speed to go, you can't get an RPM reading. So it always shows 0 RPM. To be fair, it actually runs okay with a single fan in the recent conditions we've had. It didn't go over 70 degrees once I give it a thorough bench test. Playing Far Cry 6 with everything maxed out as much as it could do, it briefly blipped to 70 degrees, but normally stayed at kind of 65 to 68 degrees thereabouts. Most other games in the mid 60s. Idle temperature about 30 degrees, 25 to 30 degrees, so kind of exactly what you'd expect. So effectively I've asked MLLSE, the manufacturer of this card, I've asked them for, well, I said a refund or send me a new fan shroud and fans and I'll replace them myself, just to save all the hassle, because obviously sending this back to China isn't going to be a lot of fun. and the chance of it going missing, or them saying it's gone missing, and I won't have a leg to stand on. And if I send this to China from UK mail, I'm guessing it's going to cost me about 20 quid, maybe 30, to get it insured, tracked, signed for, etc, etc, and insured for the value of the card. It's basically half the price of the card almost. So I'm not overly keen on that. So I spent most of the week actually back and forward with MLLSE. They basically don't seem to understand English, or at least the way I'm formatting it. There is a possibility. I'm not always the best, but I've said to them a couple of times, please, can you just send me a replacement fan? Even if you just send one, and I can just attach it to the back of there. The shroud is intact. I don't need the whole assembly, but if you want to send a whole assembly, then whatever, I don't care. So I basically want one of these fans. If any of you out there in Viewerland know what this fan actually is, this type of connection, I've not seen this before. So it's basically like a push-on connection with 2 holes. The fans, I believe, are 92mm. And I'm trying to find one, even if it's AliExpress, even if it costs me a tenner to buy one, I'd rather buy one for a tenner and put it all back together in its original condition. Because actually it's a pretty decent card, it games fine. Over 60 frames per second, 1080p, all games, no worries, it runs really well. It's just a shame that the fan is, well, even with it broken off of there, you can tell there's something not right with it, because it doesn't spin. There is a hub on the back. So it's like, there's something very not right about it. And I've tried pulling it out. So yeah, we can hear it now. Can you hear that? There's definitely a kind of like a roughness to it. But in fact, that's the best. Yeah. It ain't right.
Comments?
So, that is basically where I'm at with it. I'm a bit pissed off because I've actually emailed MLLSE, the company, directly from their website, and as of now, this is the 3rd or 4th day since I've done it, I've still not heard anything back. Now I know over in China, generally Fridays they don't really do, it's not like a normal working day over there. They tend to work Sundays, not Fridays, but then that might be just because of the time difference. I'm not entirely sure how it all works, but generally you'll get some form of reply, or at least it seems to be easier to get a reply on a Sunday than it does on a Friday. Maybe that's right, maybe it's wrong, I don't know. So yeah, I'm waiting for them. AliExpress, to be fair, they I've spoke to them on the live chat and explained the problem and said, look, this is where I'm at with it. I don't necessarily want a refund, but if you can't resolve it in some way that I'm happy, then obviously I'll take a refund and I'll just do whatever I need to do, whether it's strap a fan to it and just be done with it. But I don't want to. It's a great little card, and for the sake of what must be like a $5 or $10 part, it could be perfect, or as close to perfect as you can get for like an off-brand graphics card. So that is the brand, MLLSE, from Shenzhen Youjiang Technology Limited. Because it's got a 2-year warranty, which should cover it being damaged in transit. It really should. And that is kind of like my whole thing. It's just a real shame. It cost me £60.72 plus taxes, which you pay VAT because you're buying it. Took it up to £72.80, I think it was. So it's like the best part of 75 quid, and I don't have a fully working graphics card, or at least not that I could actually use. I was going to put this with the R4500 and a slightly cheaper motherboard and do a nice little budget build with it, but it's kind of all gone a bit Pete Tong, really. So anyway, John says pronounced Shenzhen. Sorry, my mistake. Aesthetically pleasing YouTube name says, does that card design look like a Gigabyte RX 580? I think it does look relatively similar to that, yes. Raphael says you could order replacement fans from AliExpress. Well, that was what I wanted to do, but I cannot find them. And if you look for fans for this particular brand, nobody seems to make them. So trying to find a fan assembly with the right connectors on to plug in is challenging. I've not been able to find them. Obviously, if any of you out there watching want to find them and post me the links or email me it, whatever, please do, because you'll be saving me. And obviously, if you do that, I will give you a massive shout out in the video when I repair it. So yeah, if you
water block on that GPU and do a water build.
a water block would not be a bad idea, but if I did a water block, it's likely to cost, the block is going to be more expensive than the card, at which point it makes it a little bit pointless. I would quite like to do it, to be fair, but I think putting a water block on it would be counterproductive. It would be fun, but it wouldn't be the great of ideas. Oh, it's Raphael, yeah, you could order replacement fans through AliExpress. Like I said, I can't find it. Raphael bought new fans for his 5700 XT when it was new, and for my 1070. Yeah, that's the thing. If you go to AliExpress and look up fans for whatever video card you've got, if it's a relatively well-known brand, it's absolutely fine, and you can find them very easily. And generally for £10 or thereabouts. I've done it before with the, what one did I have? MSI, no, Power Color 480, or was it 580? I think it was a 580. But yeah, I did the same thing with that, and it was fine. John Sullivan says no, ZH is similar to the English J sound. I should learn.
Can you hold up the broken fan?
Can I hold up the broken fan? I can. So that is the fan. That is the rotor. It's a four pole rotor, and that is the bracket. And there,
broken RX 580.
And there was a circular bit on the bottom there with a couple of pins in, which went into the rotor. So
move it up because you've got that bright light.
I've done it now.
There, cool.
So there you go. Oh, run over the bag. So yeah, if anyone can help me out with that, I would be very appreciative. It might come to the thing, if there is just a generic RX 580 SP2048, because it is the SP2048 version, the slightly cut down version. If there is a, I don't even know if it's a reference design. I suppose I should take it apart and see if it is. If it's a reference design, then I might be able to get one of those kind of Arctic Aero, what were they called, Acceleros or whatever they were, put one of those on. But again, I don't really want to. I'd ideally just like to put one of those fans in, plug it in, and just forget about it. That would be the best way, I think. Matthew Day says, post some good pics of the fitting stroke connection on Discord. Okay, I will do. John Sullivan says, my wife is Chinese. Awesome.
How many centimetres?
What, is his wife?
Oh, the fan.
Oh, that sounds a bit forward. Kath, you can't ask things like that. The fan is... It's hard to measure, actually, isn't it? If you go blade to blade,
do a downward camera,
it's about 83.
Well,
I don't know if it'll pick it up because it's a bit far. So, yeah, blade to blade is about 83 mil. And with the bracket, suppose that's how you'd measure it. From the center screw hole to the other center screw hole is 100 mil. So the gap in between the two is 92 or 90. And the entire length from plastic to plastic is 105 by the look of it, I'd say. Maybe 106. So yeah, it was very frustrating indeed actually. I was quite upset about it. Surprisingly, actually, it turned up 2 weeks early because it wasn't supposed to be here until the 25th of December. But it turned up literally 10 days after I ordered it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Jonathan Thomas says, I'm thinking of upgrading my 2060 Super GPU but don't want to spend more than $300. Any suggestions? If you're upgrading to 2060 Super really for $300 at the moment, probably 6600 XT. You might be able to get a 6700 XT possibly. Matthew Day says the 3-hole fit-in is much more common. Yeah, the 3-pole one is like everywhere, but the 2-pole version, it seems to be very unusual because it's not held on with screws or anything. It's literally just pushes over the plastic in the back of the actual fan frame or like the cowling. So I can't imagine it being specific to this particular brand. I'm sure it's somebody else somewhere must make them, but there's no obvious branding on it at all, apart from obviously the MLLSE logos, etc. on there, which is a shame. Shrek says, yeah, you can replace it, but it won't be an upgrade. Yeah, a 2060 Super, if you're upgrading for $300, you're not really going to be much of a jump. It's almost kind of pointless. Shrek says, Mike, can you screw a 3-hole one directly to the fins? No. All of the attachments for the fins are in the side, so there's nowhere to physically kind of screw into the heatsink. It's a really weird design. Dutch Jan, how do I post a link that has too many letters? You can use Bitly, or
I'll add as a moderator.
Yeah.
You won't be able to post a link otherwise.
Yeah, he's added you as mod, so you should be able to do it. Shrek, in between the fans. I'm not sure. I'll post some pics on Discord later on, so you can see what it's like. There isn't a great deal. Like, I'm quite happy to mod it a little bit, but it's a very unusual heatsink. It's huge as well. You could almost passively cool it, to be honest with you. Assessing, please, do the fans have contacts or they connect with wires? There's like push fit connectors. I'll get it back out and I'll show you. I'm actually glad that some of you are genuinely interested in this because it's been really vexing me and I really want to get it sorted. And to be fair, I'd be tempted to buy another one if it wasn't as much aggro as it is. So let me take the I'll take the tape off here, which I crudely put on here to stop it shorting out. I was just going to chop it off, but I didn't want to do too much damage to it in case they turn around and say, well, can you send it back to us and we'll investigate? Because if they say that, I think I'll just cry. I will generally just cry. It's my big pillow. So that is the back of the fan. Obviously that's the PWM motor thing there. It is just a PWM 4-pin in terms of the wiring, and then that goes to a little wiring block.
Dutch John thinks they found a fan holder.
The fan holder is quite a... I thought at first it looked a little bit like a Gigabyte one, but it looks a little bit too intricate. Just want to get these screws out. This thing's been apart and back together so many times. The screws actually on the side don't match up very well with the where it's been machined or milled. So they're, yeah. It's not the best of shrouds or heat sinks. So I wouldn't mind in replacing it entirely if I have to, but I don't want to have to. That's the whole point. I don't really want to spend money. I don't want to have to go for this aggro because I paid for a product. You know what it's like. So let me unplug this bit. Yeah, so the first part of the fan, well, essentially it looks like that. Let me get you a bit closer. So it's kind of that sort of deal. So one fan, this one has got this pin. That's focusing. Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of that chat bit at the bottom. So, is that visible? Yeah. So there you go. You can see where that is. So it just pushes on. So you can wiggle that off. It comes off really easy. No screws or anything. It's just pushed into place. So one fan has got one push-on connector, but the other fan is going to be like a master one. So that's got the additional fly lead cable, which goes to there. Obviously that was where the original fan was connected. And then that goes underneath and plugs into that PWM style header there. So there you go. It's a really heavy heatsink as well, and the backplate's really good. Nice solid backplate to it. Anyway, I'll leave that out just in case anybody asks any more questions.
Jan's put a link in.
That's Jan. Oh, let's have a look. Where's... Oh, there's my mouse. I've got so much crap on the desk now. I think a fleece has bit my leg. Damn you, fleece. Should be too cold for you. Where are we? Let's have a look. Is that open somewhere? Right, let's copy that. Copy link address. Let's go into incognito tab.
Maybe someone could 3D print it. Hashtag blame Dave.
Blame Dave. 80 mil. That looks kind of similar. See if I can... No, that's not worked. Desktop, window capture. There we go. So yeah, I think that does look quite similar. They're saying 80 mil. I would have thought it's a bit wider than that. And the cable, that looks like the fan that works. Yeah, I suppose you could call it 80 mil. Yes, very, very possible. That could likely be, well, yeah, potentially that could be it. But that is that looks, actually no, that's a 3-pin cable coming out of there. And that is well, that's a 4-pin, but there's a gap in the middle. So it might work, but it might involve a little bit of soldering, which I'm not overly good at. That's it. I was going to say I'm not overly keen on, but I'm not going to say I am keen to do it. I don't mind soldering stuff, but I am rubbish.
We're both as rubbish as each other, aren't we? Yeah. It looks so easy.
Ah, Lucky Man's in. How you doing, Lucky Man?
So skilled. They've put some new ones in there.
All right. Amazon. What's William Bodie put? Please tell Mike I found a ton of fans for the GPU. Let's have a look then. Accept cookies. All right, there's a few choices there. Whether or not there's going to be anything suitable, I might have to have a scan through there, but it doesn't look like there's any that are direct replacements that I can see. The Doto two-piece one looks probably... Oh no, it doesn't. I was thinking that did look like it, but I don't think it is. That's a 3-pin.
Should it be possible to replace both fans?
Yeah, I could replace both fans if the PWM connector is right and they physically fit. The whole point is getting them to actually physically fit without having to do any drastic modifications, which I would be hopeful. Yeah, any of the ones where you've got to screw into the heatsink, into this bit, I think is going to be problematic because this is like rock solid.
Nick Barnes, I've made him moderator. If you could put the link for that.
Oh, right, okay.
Can you say it?
Yeah, Nick Barnes, CAF's made you a moderator, so you can post that link for the 2 pieces set 85mm GPU cooler graphics card fan for AMD Yaejo 51 RISC RX 6600-M600M for MLSE. That one for £9.48 free shipping. That sounds good. Matthew Day, let's have a look. Wrong size. 75mm. Yeah, those might be a bit short. The cable doesn't look quite right. But it's very close. Very close. Yeah, Nick, if you can post that link for those 2 pieces set thing into the chat. Yeah, post it on here, that'd be awesome. Those, yeah, Matthew Day, those do look, they do look kind of similar. I think they're a bit smaller though.
Too many characters. Can you go to Bitly?
Yeah, if it's too many characters, you could post it into...
Or Discord.
Yes, post it into Discord. Or post it to Kath, and she'll post it onto me. Or onto us, rather. That's Discord, thank you. I'm going to have a chocolate. Dairy milk, whole nut. Awesome. Love it. James Brock, what was the sharing pin you are showing us, Mike? I'm not too sure. There is like a PWM sharing thing. So this bit here. Dutch Challenge has posted one. Yeah, that kind of looks like it, I think. Possibly. It's really hard to tell. The problem is if this connector here is the wrong size, it's going to be a complete ball ache because it's so wedged underneath that bit of heatsink that I'd have to Dremel that out as well, which I'm not overly excited for. 85mm. Matthew Day's just sent. And £9.48, that looks like the same one. Yeah, I think that's it. If Nick, if you haven't sent it, or if you are...
I've got it, but I'm just...
I think that is the one. See, if they've even got it on their site and it's like less than that, why don't they just send me it, the dipshits? Sorry, monetization, gone again.
I need to go, I don't know if that's the same one.
Paste and go. Let's have a look. Where have you put it in the chat?
Yeah, but under your name.
Just look for my own. Yes, that is the same one, I think. What's the item number? Yeah, I think that is the same. Yeah, Acacia or Acacia, whatever it is.
Volume seems a bit low. How are you, Mike? Standing up.
Yeah, I'm on full bars. Sorry, it was me, I was mumbling. Kath says I do that all the time. All the time. Let's go to... Why is that? That's broken. Let's go to desktop. Is that working now? Yeah, there we go. So there is the that looks like the ones. Yeah, that cable. Actually, no, the join doesn't look the same. Well, I guess the join doesn't have to look the same as long as it physically does what it needs to. As long as that end fits. I think that is probably it. So for MNSC, yeah, even says there, doesn't it? Mills RX 580 8 gig. And I can get £3.55 off orders over £4.44. Oh my god. Estimated delivery on the February 23. Oh god.
Is that the 23rd of February or February 23?
Yeah, it could be either. One's worse than the other. There's always something, isn't there?
That's alright, there's no rush, is there?
Well, there is. We could have a new bloody president and a new prime minister by then.
Doesn't make any difference, does it?
No. Right, so that is definitely something I can investigate, or maybe see if those F-wits want to send it to me.
It always takes less time than they say.
Yeah, it does, to be fair. It does. You're absolutely right.
Did we establish the stock fan is 80 or 85 mils?
I don't know where they measure it from. I really don't. If I go blade to blade, like the widest possible, I would say it probably is closer to.
Measure from base to tip.
Yeah, but how did you do that on a fan? It's round.
It's ugly, Bob.
Oh, Bob, you shite. I would say 85. Yeah, 85. 85.
If you pay more, it goes by plane.
If I pay more, I might as well buy another graphics card. Yeah, it does seem to. Nick bars. A letter says, why use a Dremel when a chop saw would work? Right, so definitely I'm going to save that somewhere.
I got it on.
Oh, actually you got it on your Discord, haven't you?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, how am I going to save that now on here? Where's the window that I want? Oh, that's the one I want. There we go. Right, I think that is probably good enough time for... Oh, James Brock saying, have you searched Mike on eBay for 85mm? I haven't gone to eBay yet. I did, well actually I did go there. I was trying to look initially for the brand MLLSE because they do appear to be a little bit weird or different from usual. So I haven't gone much further than some of the AliExpress ones. Although fair play, you guys found that and I didn't. I did look. I didn't spend a huge amount of time, but that is the part of being in a good community, that there's others to help you out when you're in need, which is awesome. So I think that is about it, unless there's anybody's got any last questions or anything. Is that my Discord?
There's mine.
All right. Shrek says, since you have the card deshrouded already, why not just zip tie regular fans to it? I actually almost went one better than that, because I do actually have these, which is the Arctic F9 TC Pros, which I actually did use this in testing, and it did work quite well. So this I can plug into a PWM header on a motherboard. It's got a temperature sensor, which you can put pretty much where you want. And between 35 and 40 degrees Celsius, it ramps up. So it does actually physically fit almost perfectly on the shroud. And I have got 2 of these, so I could put 2 on and just be done with it. But it still comes back to the point that I've paid for this. They've delivered it and basically screwed it up. So I ideally, in a perfect world, would like to have a fully working card as intended by little baby Jeebus. It is Christmas after all, and I think baby Jesus would appreciate me having a working graphics card at Christmas, wouldn't he? Maybe. Blaspheming much? No, I've got to try and...
The video that brought Ugly Bob to the channel was the one you did on fitting case fans to a Red Dragon 580.
Yeah, it is. It's funny how things happen like that. So I have kind of done stuff like this before, and it does work. It's absolutely fine. You can do it and you can get away with it. But it is, like I said, I've paid for a card. It should just be here and working properly.
But then they did package it well. You can't blame them, really.
Well, they did package it well, but they packaged it too well. So they put so much protection on it that the protection has actually been its downfall. If it didn't have as much protection, it probably would have got here fine. Which is the ironic part about it. And getting this thing to fit back in is almost like, it's just too much. The screw holes don't line up at all. It's a shame really, because it's actually quite a good little card, as I've said numerous times already. But it's just a shame that it got wrecked. I would quite like to water cool it. I think that would be quite funny. Screws. This is never going to go back in right. But I might as well do it when I'm being paid for it. So to speak. Stuart Scleary says that's the gamble of buying on AliExpress. It totally is. I haven't bought a great deal from AliExpress unless it's like super cheap. If it's ridiculously cheap, like things like M.2 coolers or some gel to clean your keyboard, those kind of things, maybe a replacement car aerial or something, you know what I mean. There's those sort of things which are cheap and cheerful that if for some reason it doesn't turn up, it isn't the end of the world. You're not going to lose too much sleep over it. Which is kind of where we're at with this really, isn't it? And why is that not fitting on there properly now?
Dutch John had the same of a munch for this week.
Oh, sorry to hear that, John. It's, yeah, it is frustrating. Diameter. What's that? What is the question now for the diameter? For the fan still? Well, from what I can tell, is 85mm. I could be wrong. Come on, screw in, you swine. I think this shroud was made in somewhere very bad. A shockingly bad place. RGB strips from AliExpress. Yeah, you can't go too far with AliExpress RGB strips, as long as you take advantage of their offer for the free fire extinguisher. I jest. I should just put that all in there and just go la la la, la la la. Can't see it. It's fine. It is a shame because it actually looks like quite a cool little card, doesn't it? Anyway, hopefully at some point in the non too distant future, and hopefully before Easter, it will be fully fixed. It better be, because it's literally losing money every day. Because when I bought it, it was a little bit dearer than it is now. And I keep on getting emails coming through now, which really pissed me off, saying this card is now like 2% cheaper, 3% cheaper. Like, no, stop being cheaper. Oh, cool. Robo Hoovers. I love Robo Hoovers. Unfortunately, though, we have cats. And if you have cats or any kind of animal which potentially could leave little animal presents on the floor, it's a Robo Vacuum is possibly the worst thing in the world you could buy. Because there's nothing worse than waking up on a Saturday or Sunday morning, or Bank Holiday Monday, thank you, Cav, and coming down to your kitchen and finding that your kitchen is now a darker shade of pale all over the floor. Our RoboVac basically committed suicide on cat poop and smeared it all around the kitchen and basically the hallway carpet. Man, that's evil, especially when it's a weekend and you're like, you've got your things planned to do, and then you realise that you're going to be up to your knees in poop. I don't think you're allowed to say poop on the internet, on YouTube now.
That was a good one, wasn't it? Poppy.
What's that?
Poppy.
Oh yeah, Poppy danced on it as well, didn't she? Yeah.
She is a bit of a nutter cat.
Alessa says, I bet the cat was laughing. The cat was cowering away, hidden, because it knew that, ooh, angry Mike. I was quite upset. Rick H says, unfortunately, when you buy China, you get China. You do. It is a very common thing.
That video I put on's not the poop one. This is just Poppy fighting with it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, these days, buying China is kind of very, it's almost a necessity. We've basically screwed ourselves out of making anything by buying cheap for so long that now we cannot afford to manufacture things. So it does come to the point where we do have to buy things from our Eastern allies and stuff. Oriental? Eastern Oriental? I don't know, whatever you call it. But from their ability to make stuff cheaper, however they do it, which we probably aren't allowed to talk about that either. I'm assuming that there probably is at least one or two people that work for Foxconn who aren't, like, terrified. But maybe there might be some that are. Anyway, I shouldn't really talk about that. Way too political. Right, that's that packed away. John Sullivan says, I wish I knew that before I married. Rick H says, YouTube should give you a list of things you can't say. Well, they do. They have done. They've updated the list recently. They've said that you're allowed to say heck. Hell, I think you're allowed to say.
To stop them.
There's basically a list of approved words.
You've ruined it anyway tonight.
Yeah, I've screwed it. Oh, damn, done it again. Yeah, there's many things you're not allowed to do. There was a really good, even if you don't like TubeBuddy or don't need TubeBuddy for your own YouTube life, TubeBuddy did a very good video on what's it all about and how it's going to affect people. It's only a short video, about 4 minutes long. So if you want to know what's going on, just go to TubeBuddy on YouTube and watch their video. Yeah, William Bodie, SMH is smacking my head or shaking my head, or those things. Aletta says, censorship can bite me. It's, yeah. It's one of those things, it is a necessity in some respects, because there's some people who just don't have any common sense or tact or filters. But then there's a lot of people who do have a reasonable filter. So they're going really draconian and kind of cancel culture mob effect. They want to be ultra careful. So you basically, if you want to be on YouTube and be monetized and be family friendly and advertiser friendly, you've got to be super squeaky clean. Which I kind of guess makes sense. YouTube has been like the Wild West for a long time. So it does make sense to have some kind of regulation on it. if you went to watch a TV show like the news or some documentary, it's unlikely you're going to see the presenter swearing and cussing all the way through it. So it's about time, really, I suppose, the TV legislation applied to media as well. But it's because we haven't had that censorship to now have it enforced. It's always going to be that thing of like you're being reined in a bit, whereas you always assume that YouTube and the internet and this type of media is basically free, but it certainly isn't. Ugly Bob says the book 1984 was meant to be a work of fiction, not a rule book. YouTube, yes. I think Steve Jobs was onto something. Right, we'll see. Rick H says, I've bought Foxconn products in the past, really had no issues with their products. Foxconn makes some good stuff and they make some absolute trash. Years ago they used to do motherboards for, I think it would have been like the Intel 845 and 945 and 925 chipset, so it gives you an idea of roughly when it was. I'm guessing that would have been late 90s, early 2000s, and the return rate on them was absolutely hideous. It was basically like 50%. They were awful. Hello Mike, how are you? Which GPU should I replace my 1660 Super? I don't know. 1660 Super, big jump up from there, probably 3060 Ti or 6700 XT. Kath says, hi Thanos. Oh yeah, of course, that's, yeah, well done.
Thanks to Ugly Bob. Educating us.
David Underhill says, Australian TV has F word and C word and other 4-letter words all the time. Does it really?
Yeah, but so does our TV when I last watched it.
Yeah, I suppose it does to some extent, yeah. If you're watching dramas and things like that, or
like,
films, I suppose it is, but for normal
I don't know.
normal programming, you wouldn't get it on Loose Women, would you?
That's daytime though, isn't it? I suppose it's because they've got that time.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be like after 9 PM, but then if you have a
so,
watershed on the internet, you don't, because it's always watched on demand, isn't it? So.
But if you watch on demand or on anything else, like Skins or something, you'd have it all, wouldn't you, in daytime?
Thanos says, love you guys, you're so gentle to read all comments, bless you. I get what you mean. Ugly Bob says, on Australian radio, when there is a song with a swear in it, they do a quick advisory message but then play the song in full, swears and all. Oh dear. Mark Barry says, Full Metal Jacket, the drill instructor makes me laugh my head off the things he says to the new Marines. I don't think I've ever seen it. I should watch it. James Brock says, what is YouTube now run by Russia? No, China. Close.
No, I'm not scratching those stuff.
Really Random Review says, kind words. It is a good community here at Mike's house on a Saturday night. Yes, it is.
You're going to say bye-bye?
Private Pile. JB's Arcade Mods. China. Yeah, that is the the way the ex-president would have said it. China. Awesome place. Right, I've gone way over time, haven't I? Oh, I haven't. It's 3 hours exactly, almost. There's Poppy Dora come in to say hello. Pops. Oi. Pops.
Put them on the table and swirl them around.
No, not interested. She just wants food. Cats, eh? You can have them. Camera shy moggy, yes it is. Poppy is come here monkey. There we go. Look, who's that? Oh dear. That's the worst thing that could have happened. Where'd that go, Pops? I'm supposed to be doing a YouTube thing, Poppy. I'm not supposed to be playing with bloody things. Where's that? Oh, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone for good. Right. Anyway, I'm going to Foxtrot Oscar now. Hopefully you've all had a fantastic Saturday evening. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the channel. And massive thanks for all the super chats and your general little bit off the top. I'll come down here tomorrow morning, this will be everywhere. Typical. Look, she's watching that now. She's like, there's me.
Oh, she brought a little boy cat in for a friend, didn't she, this week?
Yeah. Oh. You going to sit down now? You're still looking for that fluffy thing? Right. Anyway, thanks all for watching. Hopefully you have a fantastic weekend, and no doubt when it snows, which eventually it will do here, I'll be posting some pics so you can share in the misery. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching. And I have to press this. Bye. That didn't work. Stretch Pops. Bye.